Hey, good morning. Oh, there's Toby. Oh, Toby. Toby the cat, he's so sweet. You know, the more attention he wants, the higher pitch he makes his meow. Just to make him seem like a kitten. Oh, you shy? You're never shy. Hi. Toby the cat. He's so sweet. You know, now that you gotta let go. Let go. You know, now that they're actually gonna have like pets and companions in the next DLC for Rogue Trader, they should really introduce was it space elf cats in Warhammer 40,000 Rogue Trader, right? So there's 𝕽𝖌𝖚𝖊, which are more of like a Eldar thing, space elf. But I think some high-level inquisitorial and powerful imperial nobles can actually have like a psychic bond with a 𝕽𝖌𝖚𝖊 cat. Let me see if I can actually find it. Guys, good morning. How's it going? What's shaking? What's the dealio with you guys? Let me know about your day, your week, your month, all that jazz. I'm interested in hearing it. Guys, I'm Mechanical Beanstalk. If you're unfamiliar with me, I'm a variety streamer who tries to do more off-the-radar games. That is to say like indie games or retros or heavily modded games, or games that have a very strong community presence. Stuff that kind of flies under the radar that needs to be brought to more attention. Today we are going to be playing Warhammer 40,000 Rogue Trader. We already went through one campaign of this thing, and we did a Space Viking King, and now with the help of a mod called Toybox, we're going back and we're playing the campaign again with a lot of the content we missed as a Space Halfling, which in Warhammer 40,000 they're called Ratlings because they're very appreciated, as you can probably tell. See, 𝕽𝖌𝖚𝖊. I think it's like 𝕽𝖌𝖚𝖊. 𝕽𝖌𝖚𝖊. I think that's it. Yeah, see. They're space kitty cats. 𝕽𝖌𝖚𝖊. Okay, so look at that. Look at that. That's what you should have. You should have kitty cats in Rogue Trader. Giant purple kitty cats, right? And they're like psychically active, I think you say. 𝕽𝖌𝖚𝖊, also known as 𝕽𝖌𝖚𝖊, also known as 𝕽𝖌𝖚𝖊. Thank you. Great. Thank you very much. 40,000 wiki. Are feline-like Xenos creatures utilized as familiars to enhance psychic abilities of both Eldari and human psychers. 𝕽𝖌𝖚𝖊 resembles a Terran domestic cat. Meow meow. Let's see here. Meow meow meow. Yes, look at that. Look at that. Beautiful. Beautiful. Who's a good boy? 𝕽𝖚𝖊 resembles a large Terran domestic cat with very thick and fluffy ginger or orange fur and bright blue eyes. I thought they were like purple and blue too. They can grow up to a meter in length. 𝕽𝖚𝖊s are not truly sentient as such, but they have an outstanding ability to empathize with other creatures, forming a mental bond with their owner, which is comparable to true friendship. That's how that's how the hopeless 40k fan defines friendship. This mental empathy is a great benefit to the creature's owner, whose own speed of thought and action are actually improved while the 𝕽𝖚𝖊 is in close proximity. So if you're really into the study, you'd bond with the 𝕽𝖚𝖊. Okay, what benefit the 𝕽𝖚𝖊 attains for the relationship is unclear, but it's plainly some deep-seated need to be fulfilled. Because an ownerless 𝕽𝖚𝖊 will actively seek out and adopt another sentient creature. Oddly enough, the 𝕽𝖚𝖊 show a slow metabolic change, so they can come to resemble their owner physically, temperamentally, and in habit. Okay, so they kind of seem to slightly look like you, and they seem to take on a lot of your mannerisms. If the 𝕽𝖚𝖊's owner dies, it will defend the body and will either run away or allow itself to be adopted by one of its former owner's friends or associates. Don't be betraying me just because I'm dead. You got to be mummified and like buried alive with me. That's how this works. Let's see, I want to make sure that my camera's working okay, audio's working okay. Cool. Obviously, 𝕽𝖚𝖊s are the creatures of great value and unlikely to be owned by ordinary people. 𝕽𝖚𝖊s are highly prized as pets by psychic inquisitors, rogue traders, and high-level members of the ecclesiarchy and the like. See? owlcat? There we go. Secret companion. 𝕽𝖚𝖊s. You gotta do it. Do it! Do it! Okay. Levels of the ecclesiarchy too, which a lot of them just do not like aliens at all. Evil Xenos, such as Drukhari, might own /Rinx. The creatures inherit their owner's morality, which in turn can transform into being nasty and vicious as their owners. Eldari, Holocron, Shadow Seers also have been known to take on a /Rinx as their companion, and they are popular companions amongst the more psychically potent craftworld Eldari, such as the various types of Seers. So, yeah, okay, interesting side tangent. The dichotomy, whatnot. Let's see here. So, anyways, yeah. What else can I say? Full week of streaming. Everything has been going okay for me. Got two kittens adopted. One more needs to be adopted, and we need to get the mama adopted. And yeah, we'll be good. Still a little bit full of cats. We're keeping 2 of the kittens. So we're gonna, after all the said and done, we're gonna have 4 cats. I don't know. I feel like I should probably temper myself for my bleeding heart. You know, next time I see someone, you know, asking for help, if another cat is like meow meow meow, I'm like, get the fuck, get out of here. No, probably not that, but you know, I should be a little bit less that, and so I don't end up with 30,000 cats in my house looking for a home. Anyways, we're back to Rogue Trader. What else? Okay, camera setup, volume setup, microphone is fine. I think everything's fine. Let me know if everything works okay with you guys. We might take like lore breaks. I wanted to talk about some Warhammer 40,000 role-playing game lore. But let's kind of go back to where we were. I think we're in the prologue quest, right? We're in prologue quest. We have our halfling party, right? So we're doing okay. We got Captain Guppo Teawhistle. Okay. Wait, he looks the same size. Okay. We got Adira, the halfling psyker. We got Officer Molly Prickleberry. And, like, the model seems to be big, but I'm pretty sure I set their scale for small. They're actually kind of small. Officer Molly Prickleberry, okay. We got Reich Keenleaf, Master of Whispers. We got Goyle Hogmouse, the Pyromancer. Look at that little cap. I love that. I love that, how that turned out. Okay, and we have Potts Freebo, Madugard Commander, okay, which looks pretty good. Awesome. And for those of you who are just turning in, we're using a mod called Toybox to alter their overall size and some of their stats. I think we we decided to give Ratling characters negative 10 toughness, but plus 10 agility and perception, I want to say. And we were originally thinking about doing some sort of bonus to ballistic skill, but in the pen and paper RPG Only War, where you can actually play as space halflings, they don't have a specific stat increase to ballistic skill. They have like talents that they get for free, but I don't really know how that would translate to Warhammer 40,000 Rogue Trader. But anyways, okay, so we're doing the prologue quest, right? We can go to Astropathic Station, York 5. I think we went to these guys. We do have a trader. I think we'll probably go swing by the trader. We'll trade for some pirates. We're going to do a little bit more shady business in this campaign. So we'll do piracy and we'll do the black market a little bit more. But Astropathic Station and York 5. So the order in which you do these 3 main quests are Reichen Minoris, Market Phila, Reichen 4 controls the outcome of it, right? Now, the last campaign I did Reichen Minoris and then York 5 and then Reichen Phila, and this Reichen Phila was the prison was already overrun, right? This one was York 5. There was some problems there. There's some problems there, but it wasn't anything too crazy. And Reichen Minoris was the rebellion was just starting up, right? So I'm not sure if I should do York 5 in the center or 𝕽𝖚𝖊 in the center. The outcome would be this different either way. I think I'm going to do York 5 last, just because 𝕽𝖚𝖊 is going to be, the plotline is going to be a little bit different, and York 5 is going to be very different, right? So yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. So I don't know what's going to go on with Cassia. Unfortunately, I'm not going to have Cassia in my party in this campaign. She was pretty cool. I do love Navigators. Navigators are one of my favorite factions in Warhammer 40,000. But tis what it is, I suppose. Let's see. Fellowship of the Void. Let's see here. Can we trade anything? I don't think so. Force Grenade, Stalker Glove, Soul Pattern Chainsword, Power Maul, Stalker Glove. What does this do again? If the wearer's range attack hits an enemy, the wearer gains a +5 bonus to critical hit chance for the next range attack, and the same enemy does not stack. Okay. Very low-level stuff. Noise Suppression Helmet. When a wearer kills an enemy in a 1-cell radius with a shot, they gain +1 resolve until the end of combat. That's good. I kind of want to make a shotgun character. So, I don't know. We'll see how that goes. Oh, another thing we can actually do in this campaign, since we're playing somewhat heretical, we can try to rebuild this sword. A blade made from mysterious metal that shimmers with unnatural colors. We never even got around to that, did we? I'm not really sure who we would give it to. I don't really have any plans for having a sword-wielding character in my party. I think, was it Potts is going to be my temporary tank, but I think it's just until I get the Adeptus Arbites guy in the new campaign. Let's see here. Any hoodles. Thunderfang, we already checked out that. I think did we check out the Astropathic Station? Not sure if we did or not. Voxmaster Victus. Permission to report, Lord Captain. Members of the sacred cult operating aboard the ship have requested an audience. They wish to present gifts and introduce themselves to their new captain. What sacred cult? They call themselves the Bloodspun Web. The cult defends the flagship for both internal and external threats. Lady Theodora held them in high regard and looked favorably upon their activities. They caught the captain's attention with gifts. So he's like, ooh, gifts, huh? I'm ready to receive them. Food, perhaps. Delicious food. We gotta think of... not only do we have to introduce like a headcanon for this campaign about how everything, backstory is going, we also have to think of delicious recipes of food. We have to use our imagination for that. I don't know, maybe I'll actually try to make some... You know what I should really try to do? I should try to do, for like a big Warhammer 40,000 stream for the Halfling campaign, I should try to make something like really good. I'm actually okay at cooking. I probably have, I have a little, a lot of the dishes I made, they look good, they taste good. I should make like a Halfling pie and salty pork, Well, I'll introduce it on stream. We'll do a little vlog. We'll play Lord of the Rings music. We'll get copyrighted. We'll get our video taken down. It'll be great. Let's see. You want to load. You want to load. You want to load. Dark and malign forces lurk beneath the fabric of the physical universe. This warp, a source of all psychic powers, is a home for the forces of chaos, a malevolent and turbulent entity that is the metaphysical manifestation of humanity's worst fears and frailties. I hear, like... Oh, here we go. First DLC again. Killing heretics. Killing heretics. They might be heretical. Oh, there he is. He is the correct size. Okay, I was kind of concerned for a little bit. I thought maybe owlcat patched the game. Look, he's so tiny. He needs to sit on a cushion. I would think that he would have like a more elaborate chair that's like raised a little bit. Makes him look taller than he actually is. Those on the deck watch in awe as the final figure moves gracefully into a ceremonial pose. Some of the officers whisper in excitement, while others murmur prayers to the God Emperor.
The Undying Emperor commanded us to spin a web of blood around his children, and we obeyed. We obey still.
The Lord Captain Guppo has his feet like dangling on the chair. They fall silent as a tall young woman steps forward. She moves towards you soundlessly, a dim light casting shadows across the mask, which conceals her face. The masked cultists repeat the words in a mournful whisper. We obey still.
Domin von Valancius.
Guppo.
Death has whispered your name. We disown Domin Theodora. We renounce our oath to her.
The woman's under finger has been fitted with a metal claw. She points it in your direction, gazes at you from behind her bone mask with a grim, cold eyes of an assassin. She pulls her sinister curved blade, and a similar weapon suddenly appear in the hands of her motionless companions.
And now we give the gift of our blood to you. It is the gift of death. Death has whispered your name. The followers of the tenets of the web swear fealty to their new overlord and offer proof of their devotion.
I almost forgot to add a little bit of flair to my video. Hold on. Let's see here. Or is it Teawhistle crest? Check this out. Yeah. Teawhistle. Of House Teawhistle. The Halfling crest. Awesome. Yeah, I couldn't actually do the stream without that. I was just like, no, it's not going to happen. Captain Guppo is like fidgeting around in his seat. Captain Guppo is kind of a coward and a glutton. So he's like,
We give you a blade, the silent verdict. The Undying One has chosen you to wield this instrument of death. We give you one of our own, Kibella. She will be your shield and shadow. And we give you the blood of these traitors. The tenets of the web will purify their souls.
Lore Imperium test succeeded. You have heard many stories about the death cults such as this one. These devoted holy assassins of the Imperium have turned death into a form of worship of the Emperor. They are exemplary slayers, invisible executioners, and scourge of traitors, heretics, and fallen souls. Many righteous people honor them as votaries of faith, while others see their fearsome rituals as frenzied spectacles touched by madness. Examine the captives. The prisoners cower beneath the weight of your gaze. Blood drips down the tear-stained faces of the captured officers, technomats, and workers. A word has been carved into each of their foreheads with meticulous precision. Traitor, heretic, apostate, renegade. These cuts have been diligently and regularly reopened to prevent healing.
These renegades committed treachery against their domin. Their lips once praised the name of Conrad Voigtveer, but it is your name they will whisper as they cross over to the other side.
Examine cultists. The cultists are all voidborn. Their lithe, sinewy bodies are clad in light armor, which allows them to move with an acrobat's nimble grace and strike with an assassin's swift certainty. Their red and black vestments are adorned with sharp spikes and ritual jewelry. Where time and training has worn their garments threadbare, you can make out patterns of bleeding lacerations. Interesting. So, death cult watches over my crew. Captain Guppo looks over his shoulder to make sure his guards are within a defending distance of him. Those who honor the Emperor through killing, interesting, and those who devote their everyday deed to serving him, sacred executioners. Is that true?
The Domin has discerned our essence. This is a great honor for the blood-spun web. We have woven the bays of this ship together with the threads of our faith for many years. We keep the greatest relic, his tarot, through which he sends us his blessed revelations. We obey the whispers of the Undying One. This is our service to him. This is our service to you.
You know, it's not really that much of or any sort of a spoiler, because I don't think they actually address it in the game. Not directly, but Kibble is a psyker, just a very, very like untrained, untapped one, right? But they never really address it in the game, in the campaign. I don't think there's any storylines or anything like that that really delves into it. Well, it's interesting that they chose to do that. But let's see. Why have Captain seems a little bit more, confident in himself.
Why have you brought this rabble to the upper decks?
So you may offer the souls of these traitors as a gift to him. You have the authority to order their execution. Their blood will bind us together through him. For the God Emperor, the Undying One is death itself. The Undying One is duty itself.
Indeed.
Give the order, Domin. Let a spinner of the blood-spun web undergo the test of a sacred trial.
I will judge these traitors myself.
He has a short man complex.
Then, I will tell you of the treacherous blood that runs through their veins.
This man was caught jaywalking. This man put the roll of toilet paper backward. They don't have toilet paper in the underdecks. What am I talking about? They have, they wipe with pieces of rebar in the underdecks.
These wretched apostates were caught trying to sabotage the reactor. They are guilty of treason.
Captive heretic. I swear, we're not A woman in a tattered protective suit pushes forward in protest, but her movement is halted by a thin cord wrapped around her neck. You notice that all the captives have been similarly restrained. The woman clutches her throat as a thin line of scarlet appears between her fingers. Theft of weapons, sabotage, and the deaths of the crew in Bay AL-82. Heinrich Montauk. Do you have proof of these charges? Such are claims, such claims the result of cultic revelations. There is doubt in the man's gentle voice. With all due respect, it is difficult to discern the truth of these accusations without evidence. Divine visions and dark portents may be reason enough for you to shed blood, but not everyone here shares your perspective. Jocasta Sarbek. Enough, Heinrich. The Lord Captain will decide the truth of these claims for himself. But the prisoners you killed there in procession. Let's see here. You probably wouldn't really care about like a trial or anything like that. He's like,
Oh, this is not worth my time.
Something like that. I've seen her portrait. Sarbek. Okay. Oh, she has like manacles, like torture devices. Cool. Okay, cool. The prisoner you killed during procession, do you feel entitled to the same judgment over them?
Is this true that you experienced visions about these acts?
The practice of sacred divination using the bones and sinews of the martyr led us to the reactor room. This is true. But it is also true that I beheld active treachery with my own eyes.
What do the accused have to say in their defense?
The cords around the prisoner's neck are loosened just enough to let them speak. Have mercy! We're just technical tunnel workers. We were told to block the ventilation shaft leaking to the reactor room. Fume leakage, supposedly. We didn't know that we were doing anything wrong. We're just following orders. And for that, we were holding weapons. Well, that's... Well, you know. Well, you shouldn't have weapons. Injured officer. She's lying! An injured officer scowls angrily. They smear blood on themselves and crawl out of the tunnel wailing. Oh no, the ship's been attacked. There are enemies everywhere. Defend the bay. We rushed out to investigate, and they used cutters to break into the weapon storage room at our guard station. They stole guns and headed straight for the reactor room. Interesting. Didn't I have some water? Here we go. Bone and Sinew revealed your hubris. You abandoned the village for the promise of glory. You did not give weapons to the traitors, but you left your post to seek a hero's path. Though you did not act with a treasonous intent, you are complicit nonetheless. Okay.
This bores me somewhat. All this,
He has a scented handkerchief. I gotta get a scented handkerchief. I gotta get just a handkerchief, just to have. I don't know. Makes you a little bit more prim and proper, I think, right? The officer needs subordinate sir to be noted without the right to statement. No. Wait. Oh, the officer. Wait. So injured officer. So he said, okay. So he left, and he's accusing the captive heretic. So the captive heretic is probably guilty, and he is just like he just abandoned his post. There's the officer. I'll punish you when you bang. Continue your service and not make any more mistakes. If the treasure rabble out of my sight and shoot them. These commoners want to. These commoners. Wait. So, wait. The commoners. So is that going to be the officer too? How bloodthirsty is Captain Guppo? Let's see here. I mean, he has a chance of falling to heresy depending on our actions in this campaign. But this officer and his subordinates are people without the right to enter his statement. Hereby sends guilty officers to be guilty officers. These commoners wanted to enter the reactor room. I can spare the lives of workers for the guilt is unproven. Let the ship and I kind of like this. Throw them into the boiler room.
throw them out of an airlock and let's be done with this. This bores me.
So be it.
Mercy! Lord Captain, mercy! Out the airlock with you! Longshanks cannot be trusted.
I cannot honor you by ushering the souls of those traitors into the other side. This troubles me. For I wish to serve you with the sword, serves as master. Will you make me your shield in shadow, Domin Lord Captain Guppo Teawhistle? High Factor Janus Stanrock, your lordship. The spinners of the Bloodspun Web were watching, tracking, and killing Von Valence's enemies long before the War of Trade passed to Lady Theodora. Very interesting. Wait, do we have a lot of history of the ship before the Rogue Trader took over? Because it is, like I mentioned in a previous stream, the sword class frigates were, they started to be made during the end of the heresy, the Horus Heresy, right? So they're kind of, in a lot of ways, they are a little bit more of a newer model. But this ship could have been active during the Horus Heresy. And they operated in, I think, squadrons of 3, but they operate in squadrons, escort squadrons to larger capital ships in the Horus Heresy. And later on. However, their blade has also been known to cut short the lives of highly upstanding persons. The Vectorum swallows nervously, casting a feuding gaze at 𝕽𝖌𝖚. But I certainly do not in any way condemn the deeds of the deeply esteemed cult. I'm sure they must have had good reason. Jocasta Sarbeck, a stern-looking woman, clears her throat. The cultists are the scourge of the sedacious. They bring the unrighteous to ruin. Okay. The enforcer respect the Bloodspun Web, for we share a common goal, to bring his light and his harsh justice to darkest depths of the ship. I'm Rick Montague. Scourge of the seditious or not, folks are afraid of him for a reason. A couple watches ago, these spinners took a train driver to pieces for some kind of ritual. I don't know what old Malak did to earn that privilege, though. And who's going to feed his family now? A man in soot-covered uniform takes a drag on his low stick, exhaling thick smoke through his clenched teeth. I like Montague. He's pretty cool. But that's a lower decker problem. What matters is that the Bloodspun Web serves you faithfully, Lord Captain. I keep almost calling him my king, like the last campaign. Confessor Adalbert, a plump old man in rich robes of confessor, adds respectively, my predecessor's predecessor delivered a sermon about how the spinners saved this vessel from the servants of the arch enemy. Okay, another indication that this might go back to the Horus Heresy. The Bloodspun Web pay the price in blood, a river of scarlet that flows in the decks from bridge to bilge. They became the blood of the flagship, the pulse in its veins, the beat of its heart. The great sacrifice earned them the favor of House von Valancius. Okay. Let's see.
Very well, 𝕽𝖌𝖚. You will be my shadow.
Kibbo's movements are slow, almost rhythmic, as she removes her ceremonial mask. The dark shadows of her eyes accentuate the deathly pallor of her skin, which is covered in ritual scars. Henceforth I am your shadow, Domin, Lord Captain Guppo Teawhistle 𝕉𝖁 𝕉𝖁𝖊𝖊𝖗. An instrument of death placed on your hand by the Undying One, for so it was ordained, and so his tarot forspoke. Okay. Guys, if you haven't already, be sure to like and follow and subscribe on YouTube and Twitch. Really would appreciate it if you would do so. Trying as a small streamer to build up my YouTube so it matches up to my Twitch audience just a little bit. So goal is 500 subscribers. If you'd help me meet that, that'd be great. But yeah, I just appreciate you guys being here, watching the post recordings. Whatever you can do, just hanging out. I really do appreciate you guys. The young woman bows her head once more. I come bearing an invitation from the Vizier of the Bloodspun Web. He wishes to know that the doors to the Undying One's temple are open to you. Okay. Avalon, are you suggesting the Lord Captain should go down to the depths of his flagship to search for the temple? With all due respect, the lower decks are the servants and crew. They're not a fitting place for his lordship. I mean, Guppo would probably agree with that. Where is your temple located? I'm not permitted to say. If you wish to find the temple, you must walk the path of Saint Ariane, the matriarch spider. Hers with a thread that would become the Bloodspun Web. Her path began deep within the flagship, in the dark tunnels of the freight line, and that is where you must begin as well. This journey will bring you closer to the thread of the web, closer to the Undying One, closer to understanding death. I do not see the point of these riddles. Your temple is part of my flagship. What is to stop me from simply walking inside? You must become the blood of the flagship before you can enter the sacred temple of the Undying One. I cannot guide your way, but I can walk by your side. Perhaps one day, I suppose. I've heard the whisper of the Undying One. He awaits you. He calls to you. Your time will come. The calls retreat into the shadows as Kibbo sheathes her ceremonial dagger. Your blade awaits direction, knowing Captain Guppo Teawhistle. We'll speak again when the time is right. As of course, you may do whatever it is you do, assassin. Cool. And I do like Kibla quite a bit, but yeah, we already had her in our party. She was our love interest in the first campaign. Let's see. La 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 Next loading. Actually, you know what? While it's loading, we can always pop over, see if I can actually find because I did want to check out certain something. What was it? Let's see. Rogue Trader, Edge of the Abyss. There was. I wanted to talk to you guys about. So the legacy of the what was it? Let me see if I can actually remember some of this stuff. The Ragna. So the Ragna were a mysterious race of aliens during the before the Horus Heresy, actually, during the Great Crusade. There, a lot of the factions that the Imperium comes up against, and especially during their height, are just like ultimately crushed, right? There's just not much you can do against a war machine of such power. But during the heyday of the Imperium, before the Horus Heresy, the Ragnan Xenocides happened. It was a great war in the galactic northeast, right? Let me actually open up this map really quick. Boop. Jericho map, Scars map. Do I have my Terra Scaris? I did have a galactic map. Anyways, galactic northeast, right? So the Ragna were flesh crafters, and I think they had a lot of like servant races. But the Ragnan Xenocides were actually a time where the Imperium itself, at the height of its power, was almost destroyed by the Ragna. So how incredibly powerful that this faction was very interesting to think about. There's not a lot is known at this time as of this recording, but they the reason I'm talking about this is that they had a lot of servant races that they either were under their banner or they were like created, right? And I think there's a strong discussion in the community that certain races that still exist in the Cronus Expanse and the Calixtic sector were servitor races or made by the Rangda, right? So let's see here. We'll talk about this really quick. Faith and Coin, Cronus Bestiary. I think like one it says some of the things on it. So the 𝕊𝖊, I think a lot of people in the 40k RPG community do assume that the 𝕊𝖊 were heavily related to the Rangda in some effects, right? Let's see here. The 𝕊𝖊. Let's see here. I think most of the 𝕊𝖊 are actually destroyed, but a lot of their constructions remain. So it's like a servitor race of a servitor race, right? But let's see here. I wanted to not dwell on this too much, so we have to keep on going. But one of the appearances that 𝕊𝖊 made, they're in the time of the end. I'll just do like a little snippet from the lore in this book, talk a little bit about it while I'm going back to the game, right? So long but still deadly. During the time of Angevin Crusade, that's when the Calixtic sector to the Galactic East was not an official imperial territory just yet, but it was being conquered and eventually made into the Calixtic sector, right? During the time of the Angevin Crusade in the 39th millennium, the 𝕊𝖊, so like that is, what did we decide on it? That was, so what, like 1,700 years ago from this point in the game. No, actually, it's more than that. It's like 3,700 years ago, something like that. The 𝕊𝖊 were eliminated from the portion of the galaxy. They would later become the Calixtic sector. In spite of this, their wretched taint remains present within the Cronus Expanse. Their technology of these ancient creatures and the terrors that they spawn remain a blight and constant danger. Many of it lays dominant beneath the surface of the seemingly serene worlds and scattered amongst the ancient space hulks adrift through the ages. All these silently wait for some ancient sign or full sentient to trigger their activation. Many of these devices seem innocent and subtly influence their wielders towards the ways of their ruinous powers. Others are blatantly hideous in the way they directly expose their victims to the raw powers of the warp. 𝕊𝖊 technology represents one of the most blasphemous threats to strictures of the Adeptus Mechanicus, and those who dare trifle with it at the risk of destruction and utter damnation. Okay. The dawn of the 39th. Let's see. I don't want to spend too much time on this, but essentially a lot of the Xenos artifacts that are incredibly dangerous. There's stuff that breaks down the borders between life and death, right? There is stuff that kind of changes other Xenos into other ones. Essentially, they can create life, destroy life. There's like entropy stuff. They can like this. Their devices can like disintegrate things through like time, I believe. And there's one. I think some of the Halo devices that show up in the Warhammer 40,000 RPG, pen and paper RPG, I think were made by the 𝕊𝖊, and thus indirectly, because I know there's a lot of hints that the 𝕊𝖊 were created by the Rangda, along with some other servitor races, right? So, thus, a lot of these things are made by Imperium cracking technology, right? There was there's Halo devices that I think you meditate with them if you're human. Anyways, I'm not sure how it works with other aliens. But you meditate with them, and it it makes you essentially immortal. Like your state of being like you can't be killed. Your soul doesn't pass on to the warp when you die. But it gives you like a weird. It makes you more and more inhuman the longer you use it. But it makes you stop aging. You can't be killed in a conventional sense. I think you gain like regeneration, but it makes you like more thirsty for like or hungry for the flesh of like other sentient humans and aliens, stuff like that. Um, but yeah, the Crusade Strength. Let's see here. But yeah, I was kind of wanted to talk a little bit more about that because this has like um, a greater, um, a lot of lore from outside this corner of the galaxy that the RPG generally takes place in. Ruins of Empire, technology, artifacts of doom. Let's see here. Says the warp, Bone Conqueror. I don't think is this it or is this something else? I think this is. Yeah, these are individual artifacts made by the Yuvath and probably the Rangda. Let's see here. Let's just read this. When we saw the lights coming towards us, this is a crystal wisp, and these are encounters that can be encountered in the Chronos Expanse, right? When we saw the lights coming towards us, we thought it was a search party coming to us. We were so very wrong. Ensign Gordon Horn, upon his return to the destroyer Legacy of Truth, the crew was surprised when we detected another Imperial craft already in orbit over the isolated rock we knew as DN-382. The frigate, which bore the name Honor's Shield, did not respond to our Vox hails. Augur showed that all of her systems had appeared fully functional and active, but not even the senior astropath Quarling could provoke a response from the craft. Albers decided I should take a team over to investigate. If the frigate was abandoned, she represented a valuable prize, and we certainly had the crew, to at least safely return her to the scrappers. Upon arrival, I discovered the void ship's passengers were littered with bodies desiccated by the vessel's air purifiers. There were no signs of any struggle, sorcery, or disease. The corpses were simply seated against the walls as though they had chosen to contently wait for death. Okay. Within hours, we have seen hundreds of bodies, but things. I mean, I guess the goal of this going over this lore is just to kind of get an idea of like what's going on with the Chronos Expanse, like what, especially when I go back to it through all my other videos and all my other streams, like what the deal was with the Chronos Expanse, because they have like interesting lore tidbits about how the Chronos Expanse, like the Eldar, the standard Eldar, generally try to avoid the Chronos Expanse for some reason that's unknown, right? And there's not a lot of craft worlds or specifically like presence of Eldar in here. With asterisks on that. But yeah, and then they have potentially like Yuvath and Rangda technology in here, so right? So upon arrival, I discovered the void ship's passengers were littered with bodies. Where you saw that? Within hours, we had seen hundreds of bodies on this craft, but things soon turned even uglier. The tedium of searching the vast craft had set in when a wisp of bright light shot in from around the corner and fastened onto Sergeant Tarbin's head. Okay. There didn't seem to be any physical substance to the light. We opened fire, but the blast passed through the energy with no effect. By the time we rounded the corner, there were no signs of anything that unleashed the strange light. When Tarbin came to, he did not recognize any of us, or even remember the Aureus, the tendril of energy that somehow reached into his mind and spirited away his memories of the time aboard his ship. After breaking him out of his stupor, and then making no small effort to calm the now panicked sergeant, I sent him back to Aureus with an escort and set out to deal with the creature. Okay. Eventually found and eliminated the spherical floating creature that had taken in Tarbin's memories, leaving shards of ruptured crystals on the deck plating along with my spent bolter casings. Though the wisps of energy were unaffected by my bolter, the crystalline body proved vulnerable to sufficient concentrated fire, and once explosive rounds had torn it apart, it expired. Before we left, one of my party attempted to harvest a part of the creature as a trophy, but I intervened to caution him about letting such an abomination lie, and we left the dead creature aboard the Honor Shield. Unfortunately, when we returned to the ship, I discovered that 3 others had no recollection of the incident of the ship's standard engagement protocols. Further, Tarbin's memories did not return upon the creature's termination. I believe the thing is what slew the crew of the Honor Shield, draining their minds and leaving their bodies to die a slow death of apathy. Given the others who lost their memories during the expedition, I feel more like the creature may dwell upon Honor Shield. I've counseled Aberlis to eliminate the ship rather than try to salvage it, and with any luck, he'll listen instead of racing off to kill one and mount it on his wall. Whatever these things are, we cannot risk the suffering the same fate as our crew. So, just stealers of thoughts, guys that like drain your memories and your being away and like kill you that way. A lot of the technology for the Yuvath and the Rangda seem to be not only like biological, but like kind of like crystal, like mineral based, right? Material, like physical material. So it's very interesting. I know the Cronus Expanse. Let's go back to the game. I know the Cronus Expanse has plenty. Well, we know that the Xenos Warp Gate in the pen and paper RPG takes you all the way over to the Jericho Reach on the other side of the galaxy, and the spoilers for a second. There's a okay. Spoiler. We find another Xenos Warp Gate that's takes you somewhere else. So Cronus Expanse could be like a hub for maybe the Rangda. I mean, that's always a possibility, right? Spoilers over. So interesting. Very interesting. Let's go back to the game, right? And we'll go back to it. Okie dokie, cow pokey. The Rogue Trader ship is a veritable city sailing through the void. The ship has numerous compartments you can visit. Okay. Navigate these compartments using the map of the ship, which you can access from the main elevator on the bridge or from any compartment. Cool.
Guppo Teawhistle of the Teawhistle dynasty. Let's see. We need to save more Ratlings. This will be a haven for our people, and I shall be their king. Yes. Very good, very good. Let's see, let's go back to our duty. We'll go.
And I think we're gonna do Cassia's quest last. Because that'll mix up the order a little bit more. So we'll go to Ryken Minoris. I think we're going to go to Astropathic Station. Sorry, Lord Captain, sorry to disturb you.
Again, Vigdis, again!
Vigdis pauses as if listening to something. It's pandemonium outside the bridge gate. The bridge gate. One of the officers seemed to be demanding an audience with you in person. I think I hear Master Wisarian's voice. In any case, I wanted you to warn you in advance.
What is this interruption? Do you not know how important I am?
He dangles his little feet on the chair. I'm sorry, the throne.
Did I hear someone call me short? Even for a space halfling? Up the airlock! Up the airlock with you!
This voice is not to be... it's not going to go very easy on my throat. 96. 97. 98. 99. 100. Okay, cool. Come on. Come on. Okay, cool. Music changing.
What is this interruption?
Little tiny guy in the throne. Abelard, the Silver Phoenix. The everyday sounds of the bridge are disrupted by voices raised in anger. Abelard's voice is the loudest of all. This is not conduct of an officer. These are the antics of a highborn brat on a lark. Explain yourself, Lieutenant. 𝕊𝖊 𝖊𝖗. The young woman stands before Abelard, strives with all of her might not to quail in the onslaught of her superior's anger. She falters, but then manages to look him in the eye and say, "I apologize, sir, but I must speak to the Lord Captain." Abelard, very well, Lieutenant. You may address the Lord Captain, but not least because I see you have already seen fit to disturb him. Your unauthorized appearance on the bridge and display of belligerence towards a higher-ranking officer will be logged in your personal file without delay. Lord Captain, Lieutenant 𝕊𝖊 𝖊𝖗, requesting permission to speak. 𝖊𝖗 falls silently and as rashly on a matter of extreme importance and urgency.
I will not tolerate this kind of conduct on my ship. Abelard assigned the lieutenant an appropriate punishment. Lieutenant, you have 1 minute to state your business.
Yes, Lord Captain. Listen to my report and punish me as you wish, but all that matters is you hear me out, says Ven, a pleading note entering her voice. This matter cannot wait. Any minute now, an assault unit will be dispatched to the lower decks and orders to crush the workers' strike by any means necessary. But I'm convinced that the step is unwarranted, and that the crisis itself was provoked by the actions of one of the senior officers. Okay? Ven is almost trembling with tension as she delivers her speech, her face extremely pale. Abelard, in no hurry to intervene, lets out a skeptical huff. He glances at Sarbek, who is standing not far from him, but she maintains a stony expression. Lord Captain, I urge you to investigate the actions of Seneschal 𝕊𝖊𝖊 Guppo is like, and to intervene in what's happening on the lower decks, because very soon we'll have a mutiny or a massacre on our hands. See, here's the thing. I don't want to miss out a lot of the... it's the Void Shadows DLC, right? That's what this one is. But the first DLC, I don't want to miss out a lot of it. Because we already missed out. I don't know if this, if I dismiss her, does that end the DLC? I don't know. There's too many. There's too many ways to end paid DLC. I don't like that. I urge you to investigate the actions of Seneschal 𝕊𝖊𝖊 and intervene what's happening on the lower decks, because very soon we'll have a mutiny or massacre on our hands. Vince reels off the last words as she knows them by heart. She's clearly been preparing to say them for some time. When she was finished, she cast an anxious glance at Abelard, then to you.
You're accusing Seneschal 𝕊𝖊𝖊 about something in particular?
I shall explain, Abelard intones grimly. I beg you to hurry. Time is running out. I will not hurry, since my competence is under scrutiny. I shall speak for as long as I see fit. This is an established order to the way things are done on the ship. One of the pillars of the system is that the rogue trader's attention is not distracted by trivial matters. It is the Seneschal's role to assume that. I've always handled internal problems myself, so of course when I received information about the cultists hiding on the lower decks, I took the matter into hand. So long as I live, not one of the vermin who murdered Theodora von Valentius will take refuge on the ship. Real events. You're too heavy-handed, Seneschal 𝕊𝖊𝖊. Arrests, interrogations, mass punishments for entire sectors. It has driven the people to the brink, Ven says bitterly. Now that there is a strike on lower decks, in Depot 4 to be precise, the 3 workers' clans are involved, but many more are passively supporting them. The situation could degenerate into an all-out insurrection. But when I reported my concerns, the only response I received was an order to dispatch an assault unit and crush the strike with maximum force. Okay. Let's see, Master Arms. Captain Guppo doesn't like to do. He has men. He has humans to deal with this kind of stuff. All star, Abelard, what do you have to say?
Abelard, what do you have to say to all this?
I see no need to add anything. I acted within the remit of my authority, guided exclusively by the best interests of your protectorate and your personal safety. If you wish to confirm the rectitude of my actions yourself, I have no objections. For my part, I urge the Lord Captain go down to lower decks, stop the assault unit, and speak directly to the people. You'll see that they are not lying, or harboring heretics. That way, you'll stop the uprising before it begins. Okay, let's see. I kind of want to make sure... Hold on. I kind of want to make sure that I don't lock myself out of DLC again. Give me 1 second here. Let's see. Let me adjust this a little bit. My camera is always not 100% on base. Let's see. But let's see. I think it's Void Shadows. Rogue, Trader, Void Shadows. I think that's pretty much it, right? Yes, that is, yes. Void Shadows, how to unlock. Want to start Void Shadows. Let's see here. DLC isn't quest, a huge amount of well, the thing is, I think the Gene Sealer missions, And the Genestealer cults I never got around to doing. Void Shadows, how to unlock Genestealer missions? Their missions. Workshare walkthrough. To unlock Genestealer missions in Warhammer 40,000, you need to progress to the main story, companion quest until you encounter 𝕽𝖔𝖊𝖊 and investigate clues related to a secret organization on your void ship. Specifically, you'll find clues around the ship that leads you to the Temple of 𝕿𝖗 𝖊𝖊, which is the home of the new companion. Okay, so you need to progress the main story. You need to play, progress the main story, reach a point where you can encounter 𝕽𝖊𝖊 and new content for Void Shadows DLC. You meet 𝕽𝖊𝖊. Okay, investigate clues. There are clues scattered around your void ship that point to the Temple of 𝕿𝖗 𝖊𝖊. Find the temple, so we do that. Complete specific task. One guide mentions a specific achievement unlocked after fighting a Genestealer and an investigator, suggesting that certain tasks within the temple are also necessary. In essence, Genestealer missions are part of the integrated content within Void Shadows DLC and are unlocked by progressing the main story, which were not. I don't think they were unlocked. Everything 𝕽𝖊𝖊 and investigating clues relating to the Temple of 𝕿𝖗 𝖊𝖊. But I mean, that's not necessarily what happens. I think it said you have to do some planetary missions. Guides for achievements in Void Shadows. Phalanges. I'll spend too much time. I don't want to. I just don't want to like lock myself out of the content again. But you know what? I'll roleplay it the way I'm supposed to. For now. And yeah, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. What happens will happen. So hopefully it won't lock myself out of Genestealer missions again. I don't really. Captain Guppo doesn't really care about the fine details. He's just like, my minions handle this for me. Certainly essential. For sound this decisions myself. Maybe I should, just in case. So the symbols have to be about the earth.
I am certain the Seneschal was acting with his in authority, but I'll verify the soundness of his decisions for myself.
Throw and preserve you, Lord Captain. I thank you for your support. Abelard grits his teeth slightly. An enterprise bordering on this sophomoric, but please yourself, Lord Captain. However, I categorically insist that I escort you. Yeah, of course. Jocasta Sorbeck. Lord Captain, I regret that the enforcers were unable to handle the situation, which then led you to your and the Seneschal's involvement. I consider it my duty to go to Diplo for myself and see the expedient resolution on this incident. Okay. David Wilbur, how's it going? Hello, sir. How are you doing on this wonderful Sunday? They'll play more of the Warhammer 40,000 Rogue Trader. How far are you with your character? You made it for a rattier game. Still not that far. We're still in the prologue missions. We're starting to unlock a lot of the Void Shadows DLC content. I was just kind of talking about. We're talking a little bit about the lore for the pen and paper RPG. We're talking about the 𝕊𝖊𝖊 and the Ragna, and any sort of links for them. And essentially, I just really want to lock myself out of the Genestealer content because we weren't able to do a lot of the Genestealer encounters from Void Shadows in the last campaign, so we wanted to do that. But it's good to see you, David. Oh, we have to go right now? Okay. So I guess we're doing... yeah, just Abelard. Everyone, all the other Halflings are going to stay with me.
Of course. I have pressing duties. I gotta be pulled away for all these insurgencies. Insurgency here, insurgency there. I am the Lord Captain. I'm important. I have people. I am rich. I have wealth.
98, 99, 100. Cool. Cool. And level up Abelard. The ablest babble that has ever babbled. Endure. We already got that. Recognize sworn enemy. Breakthrough. Forceful flight. Taunting scream. Yes. Taunting scream. Athletics. Cruise. Medicaid. Yes. Complete. And Abelard. I think we unequipped Abelard, didn't we? He has a dagger. Great. Let's see what we got. Chainsword. Actually, you know what? Give Abelard Silent Verdict. But that's -8 to the target's parry. Target's to the target's parry. +2 to Willer's critical hit chance for every attack they make. Yes, let's do that. Look at that. Abla, the Bloody Phoenix. I should really give someone Flamer use, because that's actually pretty useful. We'll do that. Abelard. We got heavy armor. What do we do? Abelard, you got that. What do we got, Abelard? Do we have any accessories? I don't think so. We don't have anything interesting for you. Yeah.
Abelard. You're not my normal tank, but you'll do. I can't believe I'm doing this. I'm missing my third breakfast.
Greetings, Your Grace.
Oh, these... Look at how big and fat these all are.
Look whose fault it is. This is his fault. Abelard reflexively wipes the sweat from his brow in a startlingly human gesture. And a telling one, a rare moment when he allows his age and weariness to show through his armor-like veneer of self-assurance. The lower decks are a source of endless problems. Sometimes I dearly regret that we cannot replace all the locals with servitors. Let's see here.
Let's keep moving. We need to get to the bottom of this.
Lord Captain Guppo doesn't really care about the fine details of any of this. He's frustrated that he even has to deal with this. Like, he was eating the juiciest piece of salty space pork ever. He's sitting in his throne, getting his fingers all greasy. And his pyromancer was nearby, making a delicious pie.
Let's see here. Vows. I ignore some of these lower deckers. Oh, the smell. Oh.
Wait, let me get it. I should get it like a tissue or something. I should have that as my scented handkerchief. One second. I gotta get a scented handkerchief. We have to. I have to have my priorities here. Hold on. Immersion skill up 20%.
Oh my. Oh.
There we go. Handkerchief. Let's see here. Let's just go and loot. This is all my stuff anyways.
Why do they have all these supplies? What do they need? They're so large and fat in here. I should be feeding them. I'm feeding them too much, Abelard. I have many notes on what you can do to the lower deckers. Do not associate with me. Don't look at them. You know, I will assign a Ratling overseer to these populace. They know how to distribute resources.
Let's see here. Goods. Yes. Let's see. Yes. Cargo. I need the trade stuff.
I don't care about the this and that.
I won't tolerate weakness.
Steam valves. Let's see here. More steam valves.
Attention to detail is
Attention
the
to
key
detail?
to
Where?
success.
Where attention to detail? Did I miss something? I want more loot. I would like loot, please. Container can be seen beyond the massive bars. Perhaps examining the pipe will allow you to reach it. Perhaps okay. Examining the pipe. What? Wait. A container. Container will be seen beyond the massive bars. Perhaps examining the pipe will allow you to reach it. Examining the pipe.
None shall stand in my way.
Versus what we're doing right now? Okay, whatever. Keep an eye open, I guess. I always like stuff. I like loot. Like just having stuff to loot. What do we have here? Inside the box is a string of scratched letters running along the edges, different first names, but the same surname. It looks like this box has been passed down in the family from generation to generation.
Of course. You humans. We are human, but Ratlings are the superior human.
I
We
still
grew
do
up-
not see our purpose in coming here.
You should settle your
Relax,
business.
old man. Going for a stroll on the lower decks every once in a while is good for you. Lets you see how the simple folk live.
Okay. Wait, do I have to do this quest right now? I kind of want to get Jay in my party, but whatever. Lower deck rabble. Yeah, I don't think I have any choice.
Sarbeck?
Avrilla-Vent. The sounds of heated discussion reverberate through the ship's bays. Lieutenant Avrilla-Vent of the ship's enforcers is barring the path of his superior, Master at Arms Jocasta Sarbeck. She's going to get herself killed, who has arrived and clad in armor. Judging by their expressions and tone, the standoff has dragged on for some time and has now reached its boiling point. Jocasta Sarbeck. Lieutenant Vent, my patience is wearing thin. I've given you an order. Now get out of my way. Avrilla-Vent. I cannot comply with that order. You're going to get yourself hanged. I mean, I guess I am controlled. I control the ship, so. This is my deck and my sector. So long as this area remains under the Lord Captain's special oversight, no action can be taken without my express permission. There are only 3 people who are authorized to make me stand down. The first officer, the rogue trader, and the Emperor himself. Abelard. So not all my lessons fall on deaf ears. Abelard mutters in a crabby approval. He does not clarify whether he means Vent, Sarbeck, looming over her, or both. Avrilla-Vent. Your lordship! Noticing you, Captain Guppo kind of clenches his jaw a little bit.
Disturbing me during mealtime.
Noticing you, the officers snap to attention and salute their subordinates, following suit a moment later. I think, like I said, alignment-wise, I think I'm going to kind of go a little bit more heretical bent, like using chaos for the sake of the Imperium, but depending on how my actions go, I'm going to actually go full chaos. Maybe, then I can remake Captain Guppo's portrait into like a chaos halfling. That would be pretty cool. And then all sorts of crazy stuff is going to go on. What's the situation? We've encountered locals on the way here. Conduct was outrageous.
We've encountered some locals on the way here. Their conduct was outrageous. They even tried to throw things at us.
Vent's gaze is full of worry and regret. The people are getting desperate, clearly. They saw the assault unit and decided they had nothing left to lose. I mean, I apologize, Lord Captain. It's outrageous. I'm sure that the people simply did not recognize you. It wouldn't have occurred otherwise. I mean, how can you... Well, I guess, headcanon-wise, this ship is full of halflings. It wouldn't have occurred otherwise. We will deal with them once the current situation is resolved.
What situation is that?
Your lordship, my people has been locked down in the bay where the strikers are, including the leaders. We have the situation under control as far as the resources allow. Jocasta Sarbeck. Under control, Lieutenant. I came here to lead an investigative unit, and what do I see? The rabble is on the verge of mutiny. There's nothing left to investigate. This simply calls for immediate repressions and firing squads. And you, Vents, are a step away from facing charges yourself.
Is that all you have to say? Are you sure you're worthy of an officer of rank, Lieutenant Vent?
For a split second, Vent freezes in fear, but she pulls herself together, straightens and clips out. Forgive me, Lord Captain. I will take steps to ensure that such a thing does not happen again. Oh, yes. Oh, man. I don't want to lock myself off, but, I mean... let's see. The captain would not... I think right now, the captain is not bloodthirsty, but like I said, like if we follow the chaos just through our own actions, then, I don't know, we might be just killing people left and right, innocents. I think, I mean, obviously, it seems like Slaanesh will be a chaos god that Captain Guppo would fall into, like the hedonism and gluttony. See, like his chaos like portrait would probably be him, like as like a giant bloated halfling. Oh, you know what? Like if we do make like remake him as like a chaos halfling, we can like make him giant and fat. That would be pretty cool. I was to speak to the strikers. Not really. I give this assault unit permission to open fire. We'll crush the seeds of insurrection with full force.
I suppose I'll speak to the strikers.
Owl's mouth twists, but he restrains himself and says nothing. Right you are, Lord Captain. Allow me to wish you good luck.
Ugh.
They're just running off. It's your problem now.
Ugh.
Victory awaits.
Wait, where am I going? Lower deck rabble. Guard, lower deck rabble. Reveal events. A dozen pairs of eyes stare apprehensively at you, noticing how tiny you are. Tiny and fat. The people before you are typically inhabitants of the lower decks. You take in their simple clothing, crude weapons, and faces that display varying levels of mutation. From the barely discernible to the strange, outright grotesque. Captain Guppo is still eating his pocket pie. He's like, licking his thumbs, his fingers. Well, they probably haven't eaten in days.
4 Depot 4! 4 Depot 4!
Rivet. A whisper passes through the crowd, and you detect a mixture of fear, astonishment, and joy in their reactions. Finally, the people break away from the crowd. An elderly woman and 2 men. These must be their leaders. They bow clumsily before you. Lord Captain, you have come down to us.
We were attacked on our way here. How do you explain that?
Old Nan, here's an explanation for you. The people have been pushed to their limit, and now they're lashing out. As if we don't know why these top deck units are being sent down here, like the one that the lieutenant won't let past. Our clans are still inside the bay that's been sealed off, but the lower decks are big. I'm sure there's people who have had just about enough. We're getting it from all sides. The soldiers have encircled the ones who have risen up. A death squad has arrived. It's no wonder folks are lashing out.
That is there. They still have to, listen to their superiors.
Awareness tech succeeded. Their words seem sincere to you. Their body language and the glances traded between them reveal that news of the attack has shocked them.
Tell me, what is all this? You are striking?
Striking? That's news to us, your lordship, says a tall, thin man in worker's garb. All we're doing is asking questions, saying what we think. Old Nan. Shut up, Rivet, snaps the old woman, who turns her hostile dark eyes on you. Here's the deal, your lordship.
Deal?
Captain Guppo puffs up a little bit. Your damned enforcers are all over us down here. They say they're looking for cultists. One wrong word, and they're reaching for their batons. If they want to punish someone, they turn off the heating to the bays for a whole week at a time, so we get sick and freeze. In my clan, 2 little ones died from inflammation in their lungs, all because of those enforcers.
Detestable.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Detestable.
The old woman spits on the floor and rubs at the spittle with the toe of her worn-out shoe. Stagger. It's all true. Stagger. It's all true. Venta is the only enforcer who stood up for us. It's clear as a day who had a mother from the lower decks and who grew up amidships and has no feelings towards us. The grim man with a scarred face throws up his arms. Your lordship, we are no villains here. We're honest workers. Your servants. We plotted no disorder. We went on strike openly, and now we've got guns pointed at us. All we're doing is asking to be allowed to work in peace without being harassed. Let's see here. The persecution started Atropos of nothing, you say? I was told that when he was found in possession of a cultist amulet, and there are heretics hiding here. A cultist amulet? What's that? The gewgaw they found on the dead drunkard? Gewgaw. As if if it was something evil or forbidden, we sure didn't know. The enforcers just said they were looking for heretics among us, and anyone obstructing their investigation would be punished. But how could there be heretics here? We know our own people, and there have been no new faces around.
Perhaps the element of sedition goes deeper than we first thought.
Definitely not. And if there were, we'd be the first to report them. And if as No. And as for this amulet, or whatever it is, they took it off a dead body. There are no cultists still breathing in our sector, that's for sure. Well, there were cultists in the sector at one point, and if they could have been part of your community. But when that fight broke out, some enterprising folk looted the bodies, the boots they came back with. No one's ever tread these decks and boots so fine, I can tell you that. Seems to me that these cultists have better commanders than us.
You would dare suggest that my officers under my new command anything less than exemplary?
Oh yeah, these boots are really fine, and there's no harm in taking them, right? As for the amulet, it must have been pocketed by someone who didn't know any better. We don't need any amulets around here. We all worship the Emperor, and when we're working, we bow down before the machine spirits, or of the large and small transformers and the servo motor, the same way my grandfather was taught 100 years ago by the tech priest who came calling. Believe us, your lordship, we are all people of faith.
Abelard, do you have any questions to add?
Authorize the use of all necessary measures to locate chaos worshippers in hiding in the sector. Okay, sounds good. The specific steps taken by officers were not reported to me. Abelard frowns, clearly disgruntled when having to explain himself in the workers' presence. Nevertheless, I'm certain that their actions were justified. Cultists are no drunken stevedores. They're the enemy and a threat to the ship. Neutralizing them demands decisive action. I'm not going to say, like, was it necessary? Of course, anything is necessary.
What is it you want?
What? Would you look at this? The Exalted... I mean, there's no other option. Would you look at this? The Exalted Lord Captain himself is asking bilge rats what we want.
I don't care for your tone.
Well, here's what we want. We want you to rein in your damn enforcers, quit turning off the heat, and stop battering everyone that moves. No, that's not it. We want enforcers gone from here. We want to be armed. Give us arms, we'll govern ourselves.
That is not going to happen.
We'll defend ourselves if these cultists do show their faces. I've been a leader of my clan for 20 years now. Getting rid of these cub-wielding thugs can only improve things around here. Okay. Give Boomer. FTB, the entire DLC you're doing for Warhammer 40k World Trader will be the next one. You'll do a game doing another one of the races for the appeal for the appear of a man, or FTB, the entire DLC you're doing for Warhammer 40k Rogue Trader will be the next one. You'll do another game with another one of the races for the appear of a man, or do one of the chaos sides. Well, if you're talking about, like, if I'm going to be doing another campaign, currently I don't have planned for it after this one, but I don't know. I think more likely what's going to happen is that I'm going to be slowing down the how often I play this campaign after this coming DLC is done, and I'll be playing through the other DLCs as they come out. And we'll probably when we do take breaks for Rogue Trader after the DLC content is done, we'll do I wanted to do Battlefleet Gothic Armada 2. There's actually a good mod for it. I haven't played in a while. I kind of want to catch up with that. We'll kind of spice it up a little bit. But I think if I did any more interesting themes, it would probably be on their next RPG, Dark Heresy. Which I'm not really sure what I'm going to do. Assuming that a lot of the mechanics are the same in Dark Heresy when they actually come around and make it out, I was kind of thinking of doing a continuation in Dark Heresy of the Captain King Yermal's campaign, right? I was thinking about doing the main character in Dark Heresy, when I finally get around to playing it, will be a grown-up Agnol, you know, the kid, the baby from our first campaign. I was thinking about doing that, and it'll make him like an assassin character or something like that. Assassin pyromancer. Let's see.
Oh my. Oh my.
You speak for yourself and your clan, and I'll speak for mine and me and mine. I don't want any empty gestures. I want a real change. They'll promise us the world now, but as soon as the Anointed One turns his back, these brutes will be on us even harder than before. All because we dared to speak out. The tall worker's eyes dart between the two arguing leaders. Every few seconds, his mouth opens as if planning to agree, but each time he falls silent, simply making a few vague noises of approval. Spinning the bracing chaos, putting weapons in the injured hands would be even worse. Let's see, what the coercion 40, 100%. Let's see here. Thought to give the order. Selector would give. No. Captain Guppo is definitely not going to give them weapons. They don't have the rights. Oh my! Of course. You failed to convince me. So everyone was involved with. Well, I'm not that bloodthirsty right now. Let's see here.
Spreading anarchy on the ship is the first step towards embracing chaos. Putting weapons into untrained hands would be even worse. What's more, these enforcers need to maintain oversight and order. With all these demands, we'll consider the rest.
Coercion test succeeded. Tall worker, they call Rivet, shrugs and casts a sidelong look at the old woman. Old Nan, listen. The Lord Captain himself has come down and is offering us concessions, and I don't know a single person in the whole of Depot 4, who's ever sat next to a rogue trader, let alone talk to him. Back down now, so there's no time for you to be a stubborn old crone. Listen to us, old Nan. The 3 clans of Depot 4 ought to act as one. We've made up our minds, and it's your turn to decide. Don't ask them to disband the enforcers or give us weapons. We don't need any of that. The old woman hisses in dissatisfaction. You two are ganging up on me. Is that it? Ganging up on an old woman? So brave are you against an old woman. But I'll shut up. I will indeed. I won't go against 2 clan leaders on my own. If you want to make peace with the enforcers, make your peace. That's just fantastic. Lord Captain, we all agreed. So persecution will stop. I was with you. You felt like that's just a bloodthirst. Everyone involved with this would be eliminated. No, it's too bloodthirsty yet. But if he falls to chaos, he'll probably do. I'll start doing like bloodthirsty outcomes.
Then it's decided. The persecution will stop, and I expect you to assist in locating any remaining amulets or weapons left by the cultists.
Your Lordship, thank you. You have not abandoned us or lower deckers. Or you came yourself and settled everything. I'll tell my grandchildren about this. Here, have some fuel. And have some provisions. Okay. Sure. Oh, removed those. Okay, got it. Of course, your Lordship. We will root any nasty business faster than the enforcers, and we'll leave no stone unturned. Okay, cool. Got it. What time is it? 8:59. Oops. 1 second. Okay. Let's see. Let's loot from these poor people. It's all my stuff anyways, right? Let's see. Save.
Distasteful business. The smell is so bad in here. Abelard. I want you to come down here. I want you to clean every corner.
Over there.
Personally, Abelard.
Pages where the start of each shift is marked. The start mark is missing. Workers went on strike. This is manometer. Okay. Tech use 80.
There, done.
The gut shows the steam pressure in the pipe is close to the maximum. However, it does not reach the bars at what? Okay. And the lower end. Probably have to turn off the steam in order to get that that loot crate
I'll lay claim to the
goods.
stars.
Okay. What we got here? The heatsink warms the air around this into a scorching temperature. This is the warmest part of the bay. The workers have been even dragged deck chairs here. Okay, fun. Valve. Perhaps turning a different valve will work. Okay, sure. Turn some valves. Like get some
None shall
loot.
stand in my way.
Silly underdeckers. Trying to secure your treasures away from me. The captain. Captain Guppo. Captain Guppo pulls out another pocket pie.
Oh my. So delicious.
Turning a different valve. Okay, was that a different one? Lower deck gravel. Let's do another one.
Follow my lead.
Let's see. Things happening. Okay. Another one. Okay, we did the valve. Let's look for more valves. Guard. We got smelly bed. What's this? Stopping unexpectedly, Abelard imperiously dismisses the units, stand at a distance, and addresses your other companions, saying, I have an urgent matter to discuss with the Lord Captain. Please, give us a moment. Abelard looks at you and his lost vestiges of restraint vanish. Well, are you pleased with your investigation, Lord Captain?
Of course, Abelard.
You kowtow to this loyal rabble. You believe their lies and show them leniency. Next time the ship is attacked by cultists, that rabble will welcome them with open arms and allow them to wreak havoc whenever they like, because they see you as a weak leader.
Abelard, I don't like your tone.
Is that you see the future as at the helm of the Von Valencia's Protectorate?
Do not speak to your Lord Captain in that tone, Abelard.
I'm obliged to speak thus. Who else can point out your errors and offer you counsel?
Let's talk about your role in this instead. You allowed this revolt to happen. Your actions practically guaranteed it would.
I would have handled this situation myself had you not decided to intervene, Abelard says irascibly. Remember Lord Captain Theodora?
My auntie?
Do you not think that she ever set one slippered foot in the lower decks? No, she did not. Such matters were left to myself and the junior officers, while she dedicated herself to the grand designs of the Protectorate, as any true strategist and rogue trader ought. It's you number one. Many. Oh God, am I gonna go like really?
Maybe if Theodora spent more time on trifling matters, she wouldn't have wound up dead. There's a new Lord Captain above the ship now, and I will not repeat a mistake.
He loves Theodora.
My auntie would have ended up dead if she actually intervened.
Is that what you should say? You wouldn't have ended up dead. Abelard looks at you, stunned, and exhales loudly. Then he nods curtly. I commend your decisiveness, but I'm uncomfortable with introducing new protocols in the midst of a crisis. And Abelard stands at attention. I lost my temper, Lord Captain. I believe I ought to explain myself. Abelard speaks slowly, his words not coming easy. Poor Abelard. he has to deal with a asshole Captain Halfling. The prosperity of the Von Valencia's Protectorate is not just an empty phrase to me. I left the Imperial Navy for a chance to see it flourish. It was the most momentous decision of my life. I did it because I saw in Lord Captain Theodora's deeds the sign of true greatness. Rogue traders do not simply forge new routes and capture new worlds. They create order out of anarchy. That creative impulse was entirely lacking during my time in the military. So I left behind everything I had known, everything my family had known. I came from a long line of officers, and I embarked upon this incredibly reckless venture. Lord Captain Theodora entrusted me with all the concerns she had no time for. She would go off on her flagship for long periods, to distant frontiers, and on scouting voyages, and the advancement of the entire Protectorate rested on my shoulders. And then suddenly everything that had been built over years and years began to quake, rattling like a flimsy hangar on a seismically active world. One of the senior officers betrayed us all. The rogue trader was killed, and who knows what is happening on other planets. I can tell you this honestly, without fear or appearing weak. All this has come as a grievous blow to me. I'm not panicking or grieving because I cannot allow myself to panic or grieve. I'm duty-bound to aid the new rogue trader, to aid you, and find your footing as quickly as possible. And to do that, I must insulate yourself from the problems in this past have been dealt with by tried and tested procedures set out in the ship's regulations. Procedures that were established long ago and have functioned smoothly for decades cannot suddenly be deemed excess to requirements. So we rushed in to establish procedures, and she died. I understand, but you need to learn how to respect me as your Lord Captain or Trader. Prosperity funds predicts important to me. Value what Theodore created and since the establishment was working, I see no reason to change them. Oh God, I don't want to be. Oh my God, I don't want to be an asshole. I like Abelard. I don't want to hurt his feelings. Let's see here.
Very well, I value what my auntie created and trust that this situation is an aberration in the ship's otherwise smooth operation. Since the established procedures are working, I suppose I see no reason to change them. Abelard dips his head in a sign of assent. The shadow of incredible strain, which evidently had been wearing on him for some time, finally lifts from his face. I'm glad you see the value in the foundations laid by your illustrious procession. I mean, he might just be an... Oh, man. I should have role-played it and just be an asshole to Abelard. But I love Abelard so much. He's the Silver Phoenix, man. Why fix what isn't broken? As for me, I shall endeavor not to cause you any further consternation, Lord Captain. See that you do not, Abelard. My patience is wearing thin. Now carry me. My boots have been soiled. And please now let us leave for the lower decks. If the rogue trader desires to stretch his legs, there are far more suitable places. Okay, but of course I have to find the thing that's in the vents. Even my hands, as monstrously large as they are, cannot possibly get that item. Let's see here. Electrical valve. I think we tried that one. Nothing is happening. Rabble, dabble, dabble. Level up. Okay, cool. What do we have? Air of Authority. The officer increases allies' resolve by 4 until the end of the combat. I think Cassia had officer, but I never gave her a lot of officer abilities. I was always focused on navigator abilities, right? The officer increases the allies' resolve by 4 until the end of the combat. Okay. If the target is under effective voice of command, they will start the turn with +1 additional action point. That's pretty good. I like that. Get back in the fight. The officer encourages an ally who immediately removes from the effects of burning, bleeding, toxin, and stunned. If the target is under effective voice of command, they also gain +6 temporary wounds. Wait, what is it based off of? +6 temporary wounds based off of willpower bonus. Okay, interesting. Break their ranks. This ability can only target allies who have enemies adjacent to them. Until the start of the officer's next turn, all melee attacks made by this target deal additional damage equal to 2 multiplied by the number of adjacent enemies adjacent to the target when this ability is used. Okay. If the target is under the effective voice of command, they immediately make an attack of opportunity against an adjacent enemy. Interesting. Targeting the one with the lowest remaining wounds. Interesting. That's pretty good, actually. And what is it? It's probably willpower. Fellowship. Okay, that's pretty good. Until the start of the next turn, all enemies adjacent to it. I don't really have a lot of melee. Do I have? I think I will have. I'm not going to have a huge amount of melee guys in this party, but move. Officer immediately grants an ally additional movement points equal to fellowship bonus. So that's pretty good. The target can only be used. The target can only use movement abilities, heroic acts, or desperate measures during this extra turn. Okay, it's an extra turn that only is for moving. Interesting. If the target is under effective voice of command, it ignores attacks of opportunity until the end of the officer's turn. I can see that being interesting. Take aim. Well, the target's next attack will ignore cover and have double the effective distance. Okay, interesting. If the target is under effective voice of command, this attack will ignore enemy dodge. That's pretty good. Additionally, damage from this attack cannot be reduced below 45% for any reason. And what is that based off of? So, better fellowship. That's pretty good. Huh. Like, all these are really good. Air Authority. I kind of like break their ranks. All melee attacks... all melee attacks made by this target do an additional damage based on fellowship. No, it's willpower, right? No, it's fellowship. Fellowship bonus divided by 2. Okay. And you get an additional attack of opportunity. Equal to your fellowship bonus. So that'd be 4 squares. Take aim. They're all really good. Air with Authority. Also increases allies' resolve. If the ally... I mean, resolve is pretty good. And also...
if they're under effect of voice of the command, it doesn't say it doesn't stack. You can cool down 1 round. 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 Let's see, what should I do? Air of Authority. +1 additional action point. Move. Take aim. Take aim would feel like that would be really good for effective distance. I feel like early in the game you run into a lot of high dodge ability. Well, maybe not actually. Break their ranks, move. I think Air of Authority. I'm going to do that because that can be good against be good with range or melee characters. And now we do more talents. Familiar knockback, familiar kickback, and in the turn, the Fortune World characters gain stacks in their stop shooting equal to half the most damaging ranged weapon they use this round. Hail Steel. Every Fortune World character gain a stacking +1 bonus to dodge and against range attacks. You never stop believing. When all stacks and never stop shooting should be lost, they instead become 11 stacks. Additionally, a Fortune World character may upgrade their willpower characteristic, even if their current archetype does not allow it. I think I can get it. Fortune World characters first reload in combat costs 0 AP. Reloading a weapon grants an additional +10 stacks and never stop shooting. I think I wanted to get... Should I get flame weapon training? Let's see, where's flame weapon training? I could do that. I don't have enough grenades to make this worthwhile just yet. But should I do flamer? He's not gonna get close to melee. But I think everyone else in my party is leveled up, so someone else can actually gain flame weapon proficiency. Let's see here. What else should I get? Let's see, plasma weapon, swift movements, character training, agility. Agility is always good. Medicaid. We have the you serve me modifiers. If servant kills the target, the noble dealt 2 damage last time. Noble gains +1 AP next turn. Never stop believing spare magazine. You kill it. Let's see here. You kill it. If servant kills the target, the noble dealt damage to last turn. Noble gains +1 AP next turn. You protect me. And the noble and servant are adjacent to each other at the start of the noble's next turn. They both gain temporary wounds equal to the servant's toughness bonus or the noble's fellowship bonus, depending on which is higher. I mean, maybe. You are next. If servant has less than 30% wounds, noble can use you serve me once more in battle. Those are all good, but I feel like I should use something else. Like, let's see. Like maybe... agility. How much agility do I have? A character gains +5 agility. The characteristic may be improve any trained characteristic, even if their archetype or origin does not allow it. Agility is good. And I want to be very fast. Dueling mastery. It will not die. Increase wounds by half the character's level. Round it up. I can do that later on. I think I will do agility. God damn, I'm not sure. You kill it. Servant kills the target the noble dealt damage to last turn. Noble gains +1 AP next turn. I think I'll just get character training agility. Get him as much agility as possible. Abelard, I'm not going to be using you, but is what it is. Toughness. And abble babble dabble dabble dabble. Abble dabble 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 dabble. Cool. Let's go turn a bunch of wheels. See if we can actually get that item.
Weakness.
I won't tolerate weakness. Okay, cool. Bed. Something resembling a nest made out of thermal insulation material. There must be where the workers sleep between shifts. Great. Did I turn all these vents? I'm pretty sure I did. For a different valve will work. Okay. Oh, Rex, rabble. Wait, was this the main one? Nothing is happening.
It's about time.
Get out of my way, lower deck rabble!
I'll lay claim to the stars.
I actually am really curious to see what's in that vent. That pipe. Is that to turn the right valve, right? That's the dealio. Are they marked on the map? Nope. Getting kind of bored with this. I mean, let's see. Lower deck rabble. Valve.
None shall stand in my way.
Ah! Okay. That's definitely a new valve, right? So, you don't, like, turn a wrong valve and then you just can't, like, turn it again, right? Is it valve? Yes. Yeah, that one doesn't. Okay, so I just have to, fiddle with all the valves again. Okay. Wait. Okay, yes.
Victory awaits.
Keep on filling with the valves. Okay, cool. It's going to be like a bar of rations is what I'm going to be finding. Me. Okay, not that one. Cool. Okay. Let's keep on going.
Follow my lead.
Let's keep on going until we've done all the valves in whatever order they want us to do it. Okay. Squeaky squeak. Nope. Squeaky squeak. Aha! Excellent. Goods. Tech use. Definitely safe.
Excellence matters.
Okay, okay, grenades. I'll take it. Whatever. Cool. Actually, let's get out of here.
Time.
Wow, nobles from the upper decks! Back to work! Back to work, you smelly knaves. Next loading screen, we'll go back to talking about the Rangda and the 𝕊𝖊. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how things kind of fall. Guys, if you haven't already, if you like what you see, like hanging out with me, I like hanging out with you. Be sure to like and follow and subscribe on YouTube and Twitch. Trying to build my YouTube following up to 500, just so I can actually, raise it up towards the level of my Twitch audience, and monetize it, put the money back in the business, and grow. So it would definitely help out. I do stream Saturday, Sunday mornings, Wednesday, Thursday nights. I might take this Wednesday off because I wanted to focus on some stuff. But yeah, that's generally my schedule. We have a load screen. Okay, cool. And I'll save. Oh, nope. That's not the right one. Close that one. Captain Guppo, Lord of Pies. Okay. So yeah, we're gonna save the navigator station for last this time. Me. 10, so that's 7:30, 8:30, 9:30. So I guess 10 o'clock ish Pacific Standard Time. Wait, we're going to Astropathic Station, weren't we? Astropathic Station is dead ahead of the void ship. It is motionless. There lifeless silence across the Vox frequencies. Its lights are out. Even those who have no sensitivity, warp sensitivity, can feel the presence of death. It is in here, lurking in the shadows. All of this makes reading the reports of ship's astropaths, who claim to be hearing an incessant ghostly howl emanating from the station, all the more disturbing. Contact the station by Vox. The station is not responding. Perhaps there's no one left who could respond. Deploy a scouting team. The enforcers offered the prayers and proceeded to enter the uncanny station. What they saw inside was monstrous. Astropaths upon their thrones, not quite here, not quite now, smudged as they were across time. Servants were living their horrible deaths over and over again, only to be reborn out of ashes and blood into more agony a moment later. The warp manifested itself here, twisting very nature of existence. I don't even remember this last time. The main hall was covered in a crust of psychic ice. Cool. A green-robed, blind old man sat motionless on a tall throne. He was cut literally embedded in the ice, yet he was still alive and screaming. Lore warp. Oh, this must be DLC because it has 𝕽𝖌𝖚 in it. I don't think 𝕽𝖌𝖚 was in the vanilla game. Lore warp. Send 𝕽𝖌𝖚 to the station with a squad of bodyguards. Or the station to be explored, or the station man to be put on me. Yeah, and Adira can help him out. Lord test succeeded. Choirmaster Wise boarded the station in person and proceeded into the choir's hall. He stood silently for hours in front of a man frozen in ice and held a telepathic conversation with him. Then Master Wise offered a prayer to the God Emperor, and the unfortunate man passed away. Upon returning to the ship, Wise reverently presented the Lord Captain with a grim trophy, the late choirmaster's amulet, taken from his frozen body after his death. Denial of nightmares. Interesting. If worn by a psyker, this wearer gains immunity to the horrors of the warp effect. Okay. Interesting. This amulet is painfully cold to the touch. It once belonged to an astropath who stood strong amongst the horrors of the warp. Those former owner met with a terrible end. His unbending will lives on in this relic. Okay, interesting. The psychic streak carrying across the immaterium has been silenced, but this has brought the crew no relief. A chilling realization came to the astropath once they discovered the cry was masking a different sound, one even more terrifying and surreal. It was a melody of a cataclysm born from the warp storm of titanic power. So intense was that the entire expanse must be able to hear it. It muffles the astropathic message and crawls into the psyker's minds, evoking everywhere the same image, a dark, gaping, bestial mouth, cleaving the universe in two. Oh, okay. So it's actually referencing the a recent event in the Warhammer 40,000 lore, where the galaxy is actually split in half. Now the Mad Choirmaster has finally stopped screaming. The song of the Immaterium has reached the Rogue Trader's void ship too.
Yes, we must still explore. Get in there. Find me riches.
A brief and chilling chronicle of the station's doom was found in the scribe's records. A warp disturbance of monstrous proportions was wiped out half of the choir at once, leaving the astropaths into, turning the astropath into living portals through which torrents of the Immaterium's energies poured out. Those who lasted longer bellowed and howled about a black rift that had split the universe into before and after, and a darkness that would devour the Astronomicon's light. Seal the station. Burn everything.
Unsightly. Oh my. Ugh. Burn everything. Continue on. Yes. Come on now.
Void torpedoes shatter the fragile station. One can only hope that the unfortunate souls captured by the warp had perished along with their home.
Well, what's done is done. I have a new little trinket. My soothsayer, Adira, come here.
Let's see. Chris, the obvious is yourself. Let's see. Gains a warp. Immunity to the heroes of warp. Toughest 25. Can do 25. Yeah, might as well. And you. Cool. Yeah, wait. Okay, what was I going to do? I was going to do... who was I going to give the flamethrower to? We got Captain Guppo. We have... I think I'm going to do Molly. I'll give her the flamethrower. Ballistic skill, perception, strength, ballistic skill. Yes. And then we'll do... flame weapon proficiency, so she can actually use the flamer in her inventory. Adira is all about DPS kind of stuff. Okay, we have foreboding. We have a lot of stuff. Foreboding. Creates an aura that lasts until the start of the Psyker's next turn. All allies within that area cannot gain 6% dodge. Their dodge chance cannot be less than 12%. Okay, interesting. Perfect timing. All allies that are currently affected by any of the Psyker's powers gain the following perfect timing effect. While the ally is under the effect of dodge, this effect dodges the previous attack. If this ally is a weapon capable of reaching the attacker and has an attack that costs 1 or less AP, that ally immediately counterattacks with this weapon. And perfect timing effect fades. Okay. Psyker Majoris. Presents are foreboding. The target gains plus 6 intelligence, perception, fellowship, and willpower until the end of combat. Yes. I think this guy actually gained foreboding, I want to say. Dominate. Let's see here. Dominate. Target must pass a willpower resistance test with a -5 penalty on the next turn. They will spend all their movement points to move as close as possible towards the Psyker. They can act as normal, but all their MP are spent on moving towards the Psyker. At the end of the turn, the target must make a willpower resistance test again, otherwise they remain under this effect. 5 penalty. Possible 0 the Psyker. Act normal, but their MP is spent on... Okay, Mind Bond. I don't think we actually looked through some of this stuff. Mind Bond. At any time until the end of combat, the target of Mind Bond makes a perception, intelligence, willpower, or fellowship test using either theirs or the Psyker's stats, whichever is higher at the moment. Mind Rupture. Okay. If the target makes a willpower resistance test, if that target fails, the target immediately attacks its allies. Okay, Mind Rupture. After that, the target suffers psychic shriek damage and their willpower is reduced by 12 until the end of combat. If the test succeeds, the target just suffers psychic shriek damage and their willpower is reduced by 12 until the end of combat. Psyker Terminus, Mind Bond or Psychic Assault. Okay, interesting. Psychic Assault. Everyone within a 7-cell cone in front of the Psyker suffers psychic shriek damage and is forced to make a willpower resistance test. All the targets that fail this test are stunned until the Psyker's next turn. That's pretty good. It's big. Look at that. Look at that radius. Jesus. We need Telepathy, Psyker Majoris, Temporary Deprivification. The target makes a willpower resistance test. If you see the target is merely blind until the start of the Psyker's next turn. I think that's actually pretty good. Blind. 30% penalty to the weapon skill, ballistic skill. Yes, that's pretty good. If the target fails their test, they become blinded and suffer. If the success, the target is merely blinded. Okay. If the target fails the test, they become blind and suffer an additional 5% penalty. All their characteristics reduced by blindness and must make a willpower resistance test. At the end of each turn, the first success means just makes them just blind. The second success removes the blinded effect. That's good. I think I'd rather do that. And do that. Like assault. Perfect intervention. That's good. Do that. Oop, no. Debuff. And I don't think I'm going to do other psychic power categories. Intimidation. Operator's Neff's non-area area effect inflicts the intimidated effect on the first target hit by... The operator's next area, non-area effect attack inflicts the intimidated effect on the first target hit by the attack, and all enemies have 5-cell radius around that target. The damage dealt by the intimidated enemies is reduced by 8% until the operative's next turn. This negative effect is doubled for enemies with less than 9% armor. Sure, I guess. Joint analysis. Until the operative's next turn, their allies' attack also removes exploits and deal intelligence bonus more damage. Yes, that's good too. Precise attack. For the next attack against the target affected by an exploit, the target's cover efficiency will be reduced. Yeah. Perfect spot. Wall and cover operative gains a plus 25 cover efficiency, plus 15 perception, and plus 15 ballistic skill. That is a sniper ability. Tactical knowledge. Operative removes 1 exploit from each enemy in a 5-cell radius around the point within 12 cells from the operative. If there's only 1 enemy in the area, the operative removes all exploit stats from the enemy. All allies gain a exploits removed armor until the end of combat. Okay, interesting. I think I will do sensory deprivation because that's pretty good. So you automatically blind someone. That's pretty good. Let's see here. What was I doing? Was I doing tech use last time? 30%. 30, 30, 30. Lower warp. 35. Do that. And you... Let's see, weapon skill. Agility. What do we have for your weapon skill? We have 40 weapon skill. I think I was pumping up his agility, but weapon skill would be good too. Toughness would be good. Weapon skill. Let's do weapon skill. Blade in his hands. Lots of stuff here. What can I do? Psyker terminus. We already have that. And we have choo-choo. Let's see, blade in his hand. What was this? Blade dancer and blade dancer makes any blade dancer attacks made with a sword deal agility bonus additional damage. Yes. This bonus is doubled if using a two-handed sword. Okay, interesting. Blade dancer's Medicaid is now determined by weapon skill instead of intelligence. Blade dancer deals Medicaid critical damage and can use Medikits as if having the Medicaid skill. He already has it. Pretty sure he does. Race against death. Blade dancer's maximum wounds are increased by dodge. Okay. Rising tempo. I probably should do race against. Should do a bonus wound since they're very, very squishy. All these halflings. The Blade Dancer's maximum wounds are increased by Blade Dancer's dodge. Okay, rising tempo. Each attack made by Blade Dancer increases the damage of all subsequent attacks they make this turn by 5%. Its effect stats, he's going to be a dual wielder, so that will be good for him. Sweeping motions. The Blade Dancer's melee attacks cost... melee area attacks cost -1 AP, but not less than 1. That's pretty good, especially for early in game. I think I'm going to get that. Because you can do, like, sweep for 1. And my Pyromancer, who makes pies. Let's see here. He was, let's see here. Joint analysis. Exploits and deal intelligence bonus more damage. Can do that. Precise attack. Next attack against the target exploit. Efficiency reduced. Intimidation. Intimidate. Knocks area attack. All enemies in 5-cell radius around the target. Intimidate enemies is reduced by the officer's next turn, and that is okay. Perception bonus at -2. Interesting. Operative tactical knowledge. Removes 1 exploit for any. Sure. Pyromancy. We have Sanctic. Should do Sanctic powers because he makes pies for everyone, right? You should have a lot of things that buff guys. Firestorm, like power can only affect characters suffering from warp, burn, or burning. If the target is next to is an ally, the psychic power also deals no damage to it. Every one adjacent to the target suffer the effects of the night psychic power. Okay. Orchestral flames is pretty good. Target does not stop burning and no longer makes targets to stop burning. Additionally, if the target is an ally, every melee attack that makes inflict full burning damage on target. Wait, the target is an ally. Every melee attack that makes full burning damage on the target of the attack while they themselves only suffer half. That's pretty good. I remember that. Molten beams. All of these are pretty good actually. Let's see here. Pyromancy, Sacred Terminus, Majoris. Let's do Orchestral Flames. It's always pretty. I only have like 2 melee guys though, so I don't know. Orchestral Flames or Firestorm is a requirement. There's a Firestorm. Won't Gleam or Flame. Suffering from burning. I think I'll just do Firestorm, mix it up a little bit. Logic, tech use. Tech use? I think he has tech use, yeah. Cool. I think I might have Kibla. I have Potts Freebow. Toughness, weapon skill, agility. Let's see. Weapon skill, agility, 55. Let's do one more. Better die for the Emperor. We're getting a serve. He already has taunt. Let's do. Let's see here. I have a couple. Do them apart. You give them some more wounds. Timely rescue, inflicting heroism. Let's see, what was it? It was overpower. It will not die. Increase wounds by half the character's level. Rounded up. Yes. Cool. Okay, and what time do we have now? Let's see here. 9:39. What was it? 7:30, 39:30. So we have like 20 minutes left. So okay. Excuse me. Excuse me. Excuse me. Look out! Right in my Norris. We're going here. You can always hire mercenaries to tailor your experience or gather a wholly unique party and play with co-op with your friends. Talk to High Factorum about this matter. However, you miss out on some more of the narrative content from your companions. Yes, I am aware of that. Thank you. It's like sometimes I'm wondering if I have enough time to go back to them with PDFs and talk about Warhammer 40k lore. I do want to do that, but it's like it's almost finished loading. Yeah, whatever. But yeah, I think essentially, if you guys missed it earlier in the stream, I was talking about how the 𝕊𝖊, which are fairly unique to the Warhammer 40,000 RPG setting. The 𝕊𝖊 have connections to the Rangda from the novels, and the Rangdan Empire were the ones that actually put the Imperium to its test. I can barely look over my desk. As the ship makes its way through the star system, a strange fatigue falls over you. Your eyelids grow heavy, and the quill you have been using to draw up yet another order falls from your hand.
Ugh, must have been that last haunch of meat. Been drinking too much ale.
You raise your head with a start. Someone else is here. In your study. You stand up and stare at dozens of corpses surrounding you. Among the number, you recognize the disfigured and bloody faces of those who died on the ship's bridge and those you met in your previous life. So many halfling corpses. How is this possible? Where are the enforcers posted to stand guard? It matters not. You are alone against a horde of heretics, arisen from the darkness to take your life. As if of its own accord, the shard laying on the edge of the desk, the sole remnant of Conrad Voidfear's weapon, slips from your hand. The metal is searing cold. The dead sway from side to side, closing around you in a nightmarishly slow advance.
Step back! Stay back or else...
The dead only grow closer and closer. Your fingers involuntarily tighten around the shard, and its sharp edge cutting into your palm. That's the Chaos Blade, isn't it? The broken blade? Look at Captain Guppo hiding behind his desk. An unbearably bright light floods everything around. You find yourself surrounded by groveling minions, their bodies shivering in your mere presence. Your hands no longer hold a pitiful shard, but a majestic and intricate weapon. A skillfully crafted sword with strange, unnerving proportions, a curved design, an unusual hilt adorned with the image of a closed eye. The eye opens wide, revealing a gaze so ancient and dark that it steals your breath away. Ah! You felt this gaze before. There on the bridge, that voice that appears in your mind only confirms your guess. The tapestry is worn. The path is chosen. Accept your fate, champion. Yes, master.
I am the sword's master, not his servant. Remember that.
You feel the sword's immense weight pulling you down. You resist its will for a moment longer before collapsing on the ground. The sound of odious laughter. The strain is such that you feel your back could break at any moment.
Oh, no, please.
Vogue, the first dawn is hereby woven into the tapestry of your fate. Seek the second dawn at the hands of she who rises above its future dominion. The former aspirant fell, and thus the new one will become the chosen of the Weaver of Destinies. Make mortals serve you as their god, and become the vessel of the Edge.
God, you say? Oh, demons. Sorcery!
You awaken from your vision, kneeling next to your desk, clothes drenched in sweat, with a sour taste in your tongue. Your head is ringing, and you struggle to recall those faces and the image of the sword in your hands. Only the deep cut in your palm,
Oh!
and the bloody shard lying on the ground remind you of what just transpired. A foreign presence rises up in the deepest, darkest recesses of your mind. The cut on your hand burns like acid. An alien consciousness in your head greets the pain with a discordant wave of barely intelligible voices. We'll pick up the shard, of course. Get rid of the shard?
Well, it must have been a dream, of course.
Pick up the shard. You reach your shaking hand towards the shard, now slippery with your blood. You wipe the metallic surface and stash your treasure under your clothes next to your heart and soul, forever seared by the great power of the warp.
Oh my. That was some dream. Too much honeyed mead. I need to have some. That makes it all these nightmares are making me hungry. Wonder what my personal chef, the pyromancer, has to say. Ooh, delicious pies, maybe of lamb and space lamb and space sheep. Making my mouth water. Delicious.
Okay, what we got here? Did I not get anything? Vaults. Goods. Oh, cool. I did get it. Nice. Link to your account. I think I already did. Drops. Oh, that's why I didn't get the drops. Okay, well, anyways. Anywho, give me 1 second. Link to your accounts. We got the thing. What was this again? Work against additional +1 resolve whenever they kill the enemy. I kind of like. Yeah, I'll keep the helmet on for now. And what we got? Von Valence's click when the wearer is full of wounds, they get +5 all characteristics. Grant +5 fellowship for each enemy in 2 cell radius. Where's that full wounds? Can no one else use it? Probably not, right? Yeah, only the captain can use it. But yes. It's cool, but wait, let's see. Boop-a-doo. Where be the captain? Captain. I think it just looks nice. Von Valencia's Coke. But I think this is better for him, for my build. +5 the arrow characteristic, +5 fellowship. Well, I mean, I guess. Well, where is that? Full wounds. Grants +5 fellowship for each enemy and a 2-cell radius. That's something to be a fellowship no matter what. I'd rather just have that. Let's see here.
Lady dear, why is my auntie's portrait in here? That old crone is dead long ago.
Can I think there's a way to remove it. Hold on. Call harms. I'll remove it eventually. I think we get after the tutorial area. I think we can. Ooh. Perform your ablutions. Actually, I'll hold off on it for now because I need to up my stats. A lot of the ablutions, like getting a bath, does require me to have a certain skill in order to successfully get it done, you know? Let's see.
Yeah.
Go here.
I should have eaten that last pie. Pyromancer, another pie for me, please. Have gravy inside this pie. Delicious. Yes, of course. I am the peak physiology of a male halfling. My belly is so sexy. My feet are so well groomed.
Okay, land. Let's see. Get out of here, Abelard. Sorry. Okay. Yes. Let's just go over while it's loading up. Let's talk about lore really quick. Because I like to do it. I have a fun time doing it. Let's see here. So let's see here. What were we talking about? We were talking about, let's see, the Trader, Crystal Wisp. Anything else we can talk about? We were going to be talking about the Yuvoth these days. And Sand Slime. Let's see, we got Yuvoth Adventure Seeds. I forget exactly what the specific link to the Yuvoth and the Ragna are, but I know it's in there. I have to kind of delve in a little bit more. Client races. Let's see here. Let's talk a little bit more about it. So it's a client race of a servitor race of the Rangda. I think that's what we're talking about. Anyways. And they themselves have a lot of constructs and stuff that are left over after they were essentially purged during the Angevin Crusade, right? So let's read a little bit more about it. So client races. While the knowledge of the Yuvoth remains limited, information about the races bound to the Empire in the Expanse is more readily available. It is unclear how many different Yuvoth client races once existed, however. Through the Angevin Crusade, countless specimens were defeated, many of which have been heavily modified experiments are completely separate species. A few of the better known examples follow, but many more were defeated, and some others may remain active within the lesser portions of the Cronus Expanse. The mercenary Biavor were once slaves sacrificed to feed the Yuvoth's dark hunger. The few that remain are little more than sentient cattle scattered throughout the Calixus sector. At the height of their sponsor's power, the Biavor were constantly incorporating into the dark rituals that the ancient Xenos performed. Historical reports suggest that Yuvoth might have worked to limit the race's capacity for independent thought, causing them to be much more docile. A seemingly passive nature may have also saved them from extermination at the hands of the Angevin Crusade, for the Inquisition designated them as a minor threat, not as a concern for the time. Okay. Bro, hey, what's going on? Hey, this is Chill, first time catching your scream. Oh, I thought you came before. What's up? Hey, what's going on, Bro? Yeah, just a chill stream. We're talking. We're playing some Road Trader on the side. We're going over some of the lore books of the pen and paper RPG, and we're talking about like how one of the greater threats that the Imperial Man faced in the Warhammer 40,000 setting, the Rangda, the Yuvoth in the RPG setting might have links towards the Rangda, right? So we're kind of we're reading some of the lower blurbs on it. We're kind of trying to thinking about how what their purpose was in the Cronus Expanse, essentially. Bottle Bro, loving the vibes here. Your energy and gameplay are solid and totally underrated. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. It means a lot, Bonner Bro. So in contrast, excuse me. In contrast to the aquatic 𝕽𝖔𝖌𝖚, how do you say that? 𝕽𝖔𝖌𝖚, 𝕽𝖔𝖌𝖚, represent a threat that the Crusade overcame at the same time as their sponsor race. The 𝕽𝖔𝖌𝖚 spent countless generations developing three-dimensional combat techniques. That's interesting. Three-dimensional combat techniques. Transitioning these techniques from an underwater environment to that of a void represented a relatively simple and intuitive leap for the 𝕽𝖔𝖌𝖚. The inherent edge made them extremely expert void pilots and tacticians. Inquisitorial agencies thus sponsored a purge of the species. There are no known surviving 𝕽𝖌𝖚. Their extermination is celebrated as one of the Crusade's many such successes. The near microscopic colony beings of the Sphinx survive on many barren asteroids. 1 second. Yes. The many microscopic colony beings of the Sphinx survive on many barren asteroids throughout the expanse. Today, these entities possess little that would resemble civilization by human standards, but during the height of the Crusade, tens of thousands of these crystalline colonies formed key parts of the 𝕊𝖆 fleet. With the collapse of their Dark Masters, the individual groups separated and became isolated. The Ordo Xenos no longer even classified these isolated groups as sentient. However, some archaic records suggest the presence of sporific Xenos tech. The isolated colonies could once more represent a substantial threat. So, when we look through some of the stuff and we think of like the Rangda actually threatened destroying the Imperium at its height. Like the Imperium at its height were the Primarchs, and like there's so many more Space Marines, and it was like largely uncontested by like chaos. I think it's kind of like apples and oranges in a lot of aspects, but I think it's like generally stronger than it is now, even though the Imperium of the current setting is bigger. So you have to think that the Rangda were able to nearly destroy that, right? And I think, what was I saying? I was saying earlier in the stream that the warp gates might be linked towards the 𝕊𝖆 and thus might be linked towards the Rangda. So that's why they have some of their constructs and some of their servitor races in the Galactic Northwest when their empire was in the Galactic Northeast, right? So they have stuff that can create, sentient colonies and like crystalline colonies of like sentient Xenos at like a near microscopic level, right? You have stuff that can, tactically attack things in like the three-dimensional spaces, right? We have slave races. We have. It sounds like they have kind of like. They have control over time and like life. I think that was also what we were talking about earlier in the stream. How the 𝕊𝖆 were connected to the what was it? What was the term for it in the pen and paper RPG? It was the Halo devices, right? So the Halo devices kind of modify what is to be alive and dead, right? So they have such this alien force that once nearly destroyed the Imperium. Before real chaos became as much of a threat as it is, they could manipulate time and space and just the majority of like the how life and death really worked, right? So it's very interesting to like think about. And I don't know if owlcat would really go into like a faction that's not very known in the 40k community. I feel like they would be more. They're going to be making one of the at least 2 future DLCs is going to be Necron themed. So I mean, I feel like they're just going to stick with what they know, right? They're not going to go into the lesser-known Xenos factions or threats, right? Let's see. Let me catch up to you guys just a little bit. Nothing much. The vibes here. How long you been streaming? You got a cool setup. Yeah. In terms of like how long I've been streaming just in general, like year-wise, real life. Like today it's just been, I'm trying for around a 2.5 hour stream, but I think I've been streaming in general for like 2 years or so. I don't know if that, like a year of it, I don't know if that nearly counts. It's like, there's there's a period in time when my audio and visual quality was not really that great. I was just kind of setting up and really kind of doing it like aside from like while I'm working. I'm still working full time and doing this on the side, and I want to build this up, but I think officially about 2 years or so, but I don't really, mentally I only count like about a year of that. But yeah, it's interesting to think about the 𝕊𝖊. We'll go back to the game in just a second, and I don't think I have a lot of books that are on my. There's some PDFs that go over the Halo devices and some of the things that they do that I would like to go over with you guys over the next few weeks. But let's go back to the game, right? Full screen. Start. Okay. So we didn't come here first. So battle is already broken out of the planet now. This is going to be slightly different than the first campaign. You know what? I don't want a lighter. In the pen and paper role-playing game, you can actually get better deploy ships. Like, you can get a gun cutter, which are essentially like kind of like captain's yacht slash, flying tank. Like, I would want to get a gun cutter, even if it like didn't really mean anything in the long run. The starboard greets you with a dim ordnance, and the smell of explosive tickles your nostrils. It's difficult to tell through the smoke who is firing at whom. Sergeant Malgar, halt! Weapons on the ground, or I'm firing.
Do not dare trifle with me, Longshanks.
A man in torn and dirty uniform hobbles towards you from behind chunks of rockcrete and crumpled plasteel. His cracked helmet is adorned with a crooked label that reads, Sergeant Malgar. Alright, so our skies are in lockdown. These rebels are shooting down anything that flies. And you lot just happen to land in the rear without a scratch to show for it. And in a shuttle like that, where'd you get it? Stolen from a palace, isn't it? You visibly is awed by the resplendent gold of your transport. I mean, I've seen better. Grab him, lads. We've got himself a rebel landing force. Let's see.
How dare you, Commoner? On your knees before I blow your brains out! Before my minions blow your brains out!
Your imperious tone proves more effective than any official regalia, and the commoner collapses to his knees.
Yes, of course. You are beneath me. I am a Lord Captain. A rogue traitor.
My mistake, your lordship. I didn't recognize you, sir. Please pardon my blunder. It's a bloodbath in here.
There will be a bloodbath. You... Explosions! Molly! My bodyguard! Help me!
A frightening explosion cuts off the rest of the sergeant's words. Shrapnel flies everywhere with a piercing shriek. One of the soldiers falls to the ground, clutching it with the remains of his forearm that is not adorned with crimson tatters. Blood is pouring out of the stump, and the soldier's agony is short-lived.
Ah! It's explosions!
The sergeant curses, hastily says an army prayer for the dead. With a rasping cough, the sergeant turns back to you. Pardon me, sir, Sergeant Lace Malgar reporting. My unit is holding the starport on the governor's orders. How may I serve? Let's see here. What is going on here?
Some dirty dog nearly shot down my shuttle.
Affirmative, your lordship, sir. It is all those damned rebels. Those maggots somehow got their hands on anti-aircraft battery. It's causing our shuttles no end of trouble. The thing is, thing really packs a punch. You're lucky they missed you. I've seen them fry 2 shuttles carrying reinforcements. Not a soul survived.
What's going on here?
Unrest, sir. Armed rebellions in both the capital and the provinces. First, the lower level sparked, and then it went up to the spires. They hit the Vox hubs, the arsenals, and the Matrix stations. My unit was here when it all went to the Groxes. The tech priests linked to the satellites reported sightings of strange void ships on the system. They were orbiting the star until one of them set course for landing on Rykan Mornoris. The governor took precautionary measures in order to increase the security of the key facilities. Everyone knows that whenever something's not right, you better double down the warden details. The alarm was raised and we were sent to secure the starport. It's the only reason why we were able to hold it. They're crushing us, the scumbags. And that's because you were late to arrive on Rykan Minor's. Well, I'm going to be very late to meet Cassia. It's been a whole turn since the last reinforcements came in, and we're running low on ammo. Every other fighter is wounded. I don't know how bad it is in the streets, but they'll drive us out of here at any moment. Because rebellion has... So welcome, sorry. How can some pathetic rebellion cause enough for such lackluster welcoming ceremony in honor of a rogue trader's arrival? This is an insult. Apologies, your lordship. Sure, I couldn't have known. It was, I wasn't notified. Had I known you were expecting such an eminent visitor, we would have, at the double, with all due devotion. I'm going to see the governor. If I may report, sir, so long as you will speak when spoken to! Kneel down so I slap you again! Yes! Yes, the rebels keep shooting their damn anti-aircraft battery. If there is absolutely no way there's absolutely no way to shuttle you to the governor. It would have to be on foot, and the streets are very dangerous. I've no one to send with you as an escort. I assigned all my available troops to accompany the senior tech priest to the governor. I will voxcast orders for them to wait for you, and I'll inform the headquarters. They will better send out a convoy to meet you halfway. Meanwhile, we'll follow the governor's orders and hold the line here. Look at how cute Adira is. Adira frowns and her gaze grows distant, as if she is looking through the sergeant. You're a good soldier, but you've lost a lot of blood and you've got a lot of blood on your hands, both yours and others. You know the same hand that salutes might falter in the darkness. Rank and epaulettes won't save you from the bitterness. Pardon me, my lady, but I can't get my head around these fancy words you're saying. I've seen plenty of blood, but trust me, I'll fight to my last drop. Is the path ahead dangerous? What likes me there? What tech priest? You're a good soldier. You're a fool. You've who's safe and sound here has left you for dead. You priest here about glory.
A good fighter would have long since reclaimed the starport. Move out and attack, you cowardly knave!
Horror fills the sergeant's eyes. Apologies, your lordship, sir. We'll rectify that at once. Follow my lead, you lot. I'm giving you 2 minutes to reload and patch yourself up. Then we are routing the rebel drags.
Yes, that's of course. That is your duty.
He rolls in his command, organizing his troops for what is undoubtedly a suicidal offensive.
Well, if you're doing your job, it will not be a suicidal offensive, will it?
Another explosion interrupts the sergeant's words. With a sigh of relief, he returns to his soldiers and spits out a booming series of commands.
Go! Go! Get out of here! Kill the heretics! Can't find good men these days.
Let's see. Where are we going? Is there any loot? I would like to get some loot now. Where is the loot? Loot. Grand Viaduct, pristine guess is buried underneath the rabble. Okay, sure. Bridge technomats.
Oh my god! I almost got hit. Watch where you're firing.
But what if pie? Let's see.
Did you
Guard.
see that? They almost knocked us out of the air. Some bumbling idiot's going to regret that when he's dragged before the Lord Captain for questioning and trial.
Okay. What does she have? She has denial of nightmares. Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's right. The little thing that we got. Interesting.
I'll lay claim to the stars.
Let's see here. What's the guy's name?
My shield.
Potts?
Commander Potts of the Meadow God. Lead the way.
Bound by the blood of martyrs.
Go. Go, Potts.
Take a knee and bow before me. Show them no
Okay.
mercy.
Do I have enough time for this? Let's see here. 10:06. I'll play through a little bit of the combat and then we'll end the stream. If you guys have any questions about the lore, or if we want to have a quick discussion before I take off, feel free to let me know. If you guys haven't already, be sure to like and follow and subscribe on YouTube and Twitch. Trying to build up my YouTube following, like I said before. So anything you can do to help me out would be great. I do have a Patreon set up. It doesn't have a lot of bells or whistles, but I think I have it set up for dollar donations if you do want to try to support me in a different way. If you do donate, I'll give you a shout out on my videos. Yeah. So, but otherwise, just come hang out with us. Do appreciate it. Rebel Gunner, Bruiser Rebel, Gunner. So this is last gun. And, ooh, lots of stuff. Agitator. Agitator, what is this? Instigating. Applies a rage crowd effect to allies. It's a lot of guys. Got cover. Got full cover. Full cover. Got here. Do half cover, I guess. Pots. Okay. Molly is over here. We got Adira over here. Yes, and then we got the Lord Captain. We have a lot of cover over here. And we have Raek. Should get over here. And we have our guy over here. Yes. Do that. And I think that's good.
Hold on.
To battle! Okay. Rile up.
In body,
Oof.
they corrupt in mind.
Okay. So what do we have? What kind of bonuses do we have? Enraged Crowd. Okay, they have between 1 and 10 stacks. Applies Raging Woe at the level. Applies Raging Woe at a level equal to the corresponding amounts of all rebels in the fight. Okay. Raging Woe. Sure. Cocky Clamor. What's that? Chance of the hit of any other target but this creature are reduced by 20%. Okay. Who do we have? Captain Guppo. How did Captain Guppo was hit also. And so you resist the allies to resolve until the end of combat. Let's see here. Maybe I can. It looks like I might be able to use full cover and still look out of that. So we'll do. So this command. It will start the next turn with +1 additional action point. So I'll do. I guess I'm gonna do. You serve me on Molly.
Already done. Suits my purposes.
Okay. And then I have. Can do this and do like one more shot maybe. Can I not shoot? It looks like I have. It's not close enough. Let's do. I don't think I can move Molly. That's the thing. Yeah. So running gun. Soldier gains +6 MP. 2. No one's really close enough yet. I will do this. And then that. And you really can't attack? Sucks. What can you... Okay. That's fine, I'll take it.
Your end is nigh.
Okay. Attack!
Rejoice in service.
Is what it is. Okay. Lord Captain Guppo. Yeah, just staying
Follow my lead.
there. I should probably give a healer. Running shotgun. Shotguns are interesting. So we got. I was within the area. Can I get? Yes. Let's do this. Do 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 do. Do da 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 da. It's not really wise to rush into this whole area, this melee. But can I go anywhere else? Let's see. Do 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 do.
Ruin beckons.
Okay. Can I have... I'll just move here, I guess. Nothing much I can do. Wait, what is this? Creates an area that lasts until the start of the striker's next turn. All allies within an area gain plus 6% dodge. Sure. Over here.
Let's get to it.
Okay.
Let's make it quick.
So much for full cover.
Here we go. Out of my way.
The melee guys. There's a lot of guys here. Jesus. I guess we did take our time getting here.
Hold on.
Cool. Yikes. Okay. Can I just do... I mean, this is better... more defensible over here, isn't it? So I can do... that's... and then do... 55%... 43%...
I will not be deterred.
Miss. I'm amazing. Save with the fire. Okay, and then my Metal Guard Commander. 34. Let's do... let's see, I need one. Do this. Charge. Yes.
The Emperor commands.
Oh, so bad. So low level. Yes, let's do that.
And so
Charge.
shall it be done.
Taunting Scream. Cool. Yes.
Scared yet?
Better to be dodging.
Pain
Ugh.
and hardship. Prove our devotion.
Hold on there, Pots! It's always funny when they like kill each other. Okay. What do we got here? Lots of stuff to do. Move here. And I do yes.
Will do.
Nice. And what we got? Bruiser Rebel, Bruiser Rebel, Bruiser Rebel. There's just bruisers and gunners, right? God, there's so many. Let's do a little bit of extra dodge. And then one more. Might as well. Let's see here. Bruiser, Bruiser, Bruiser. Let's blind this guy.
On it.
Cool. Yeah, I'm gonna have so many psychers on my party. So I'm just gonna destroy Veils. And once I get to like epic levels, I'm gonna give the captain a little bit of sorcery also. Okay, Pyromancer. Let's see here. Can you get anything else? Oh, you know what? Molly has... oh, I never equipped the flamer, did I? That sucks.
A genius at work.
Yes, Master Pyromancer, go!
A wicked thought.
Cool.
Let's make it quick.
Who's that?
Here we go.
Oh my lord. That's problematic. I do have the little melt-a-gun attack. Oh, he so low movement. Sucks. Can I do anything? I don't think I can actually shoot anyone. No, I can't. Let's see. If that's the case, I do this. Cannot reach him.
Absolutely not.
Keen Leaf, Olim Officer, Prickleberry, Pyromancer, and Adira. Can do that. Let's see.
Nothing
Buff.
I can't do.
Authority.
All too easy.
Okay. Start the turn with one additional action point. Sure.
Already done.
Okay, let's... There's like no way I can... let's see... I want to kill a bunch of these guys, but... It's like there's... Oh, well, hold on. Yeah, nothing you can do. Nothing you can do. What else? Do... Kill these guys. Yeah, this guy.
Anything is. Farewell.
Cool. And yep. Shotguns are pretty fun. Maybe I will try like a shotgun build. I know there's going to be a lot more like shotgun items in the next DLC, the Lex Imperialis DLC. But let's see here. Can probably do wreck, jump.
Purpose guides me.
Cool.
I will triumph. Rend the flesh, shatter the
And-
spirit.
Yes, and then I can do... Yeah, so this is -1 AP.
One's not a satisfying
Cool.
demise.
And does he actually have it? I don't think he does. Let's give him a
I
little bit of
will triumph.
boost to dodge. And maybe I can get out of... Let's see. Maybe I can get out of line of sight if I can. Either like right here maybe? Maybe that would help.
Purpose guides me. Out of my way.
Ouchie!
Amuse me.
Just like one hit.
Let's get to it.
I think my Master of Whispers is almost dead! Oh my god! Okay. 2 guys down. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna press on. They died for the Emperor. Molly. Do. What can I do? I can do like this. 5% to hit. Wait, why is the accuracy so bad? So weird. This guy, Rebel Agitator. Can I do this? You still can't see him? Okay, whatever. Uh, 2-4. Jesus. It is what it is. Baboo or baboo. 42%, 27% chance to hit the shotgun guy. I don't want to kill a shotgun guy because he might actually help me. Let's go here. And we'll do Surefire Plan. 16% more damage.
Speak louder than words.
And yes. Oh, wait, I can do... So they're all their allies. Okay, does this count as an ally? We'll find out. Boop. Okay, automatically dodge. That's what it says. It's automatically dodge.
And so,
Okay, he's not an ally. Okay.
Hold on.
Ouch. Ouch. Okay, well, so much for shotgun guy. Wait, I think he's blind, isn't he? Might not be. No, he's not. So, boop.
But of course.
And can I lightning bolt these guys? Can I move a certain way? Let's just do this.
Anything else?
Okay. And I don't think I have this for her. Cool. Goyle. Let's see. There's no cover up there. I don't want to risk it.
Through the smoke and gunfire.
Miss. How dare you miss? You must be a rebel. You must be a traitor.
Let's get to it. Let's make it quick.
What? How are you? How are you hitting me?
Yet.
Okay. Captain Guppo. He can barely move. Do 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 do. Voice of command. I think Marley already has voice of command on her. Voice of command. Doesn't she? Wait, does it only last one turn? Cooldown, voice of command. For 1 round. Okay. Let's see. Oh, you can't even do... Wait, how can you... Oh, well, I guess technically he's... Technically he can't see over this, but the game doesn't actually know that. Oh, whatever. Let's see. I'm just kind of wondering what I'm going to do. But, we'll do dip.
Not my specialty.
Available.
I don't have time for this.
Wait, I can't do... What? Why can't...
I'll pass.
Why is it
My
unavailable?
specialty.
Whatever.
Suits my purposes. Not a problem for me.
Okay. What? Why can't you see him? So weird.
Nothing I can't do.
Okay. Blah 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 blah.
Anything else?
Cool.
Here we go.
There's no way. There's no way. Oh my god. And I don't have any Medicaid kits. What's going on, man? It's gonna be kind of tough. Probably not gonna be able to finish this. What time is it? 10:25. Do like 5 more minutes or so. Shit. This is nothing I can really do. Do this. And do... Try to do like that. And do like... Move here. Do surefire
the
plan.
Emperor commands.
She's gonna get KO'd anyways, right?
I will not be perfect. Actions will speak louder than words.
God damn. I'm so bad at this game.
Myself to do this.
I don't think I can actually do anything.
I'm wounded.
Damn it. Are these guys... These guys aren't even coming close. I could do... I'd probably kill a lot of them if I just ran up there. And then... Like lightning bolts.
They who discern the future own the battlefield. Be gone.
Okay, 3. And there's 3, 4, so there's 4 left. Well, yeah, I could probably just maybe do something. Okay, let's see here. Rebel gunner, rebel gunner, rebel gunner. I'll blind one of them. Should probably get sensory deprivation for someone else too. Let's see. See, do you have that? I think you do, don't you? Oh, you don't. Okay, let's get you some dodge. Hopefully it'll work.
Was that you? Or
Goyle! Help! Can't really do anything else. Okay.
Let's get to it.
Crap.
Twisted wonders emerge.
That's not good. Let's see. I like almost. Can I actually do this? I feel like I can. Maybe. I don't know. Let's see here. Do this. And then Adira. Wait, what? You're like so close. How can you not be within range?
Absolutely not.
What do you got? Finest hour. Officer grants an ally extra turn with full AP and MP during that extra turn. There is no attack limit. Until the end of combat, the officer's fellowship is halved. It's a desperate measure. I can see me needing that. So I'll do this. I'll just have... Maybe I can get Adira to just kill all of them. Can you make it? Well, let's see here. I'm gonna do...
what of
Zap.
course.
Okay. And then... That's... Oh! Now I don't have Desperate Measure. No, I do. Okay.
My time is now.
Okay. Bop. And then... Bop.
What is this foreboding?
Okay. And then 3. And then I should do Bop.
Will do.
And then Scream.
On it.
Cool. And... Let's see what happens. Guppo. Guppo, you have 0 MP. Okay, well. Oh, and you have another attack. Cool. Cool, I did it. Yay! I don't think I can go back to my ship, though. Let's see. I'll save. But I don't think I can go back to ship to heal all my guys. Which is going to be kind of a problem.
I won't tolerate weakness.
Let's see here. Exactly, I won't tolerate weakness. Don't be complaining. Oh no, I can't go back to my ship. Oh. Let's see what we got. Oh, at least we have alcohol. Like, dim the pain. Dull the pain a little bit. Okay. This is a future me problem. Not a current me problem. Save. Let's see. Like, next week, I'm going to start the stream and I'm going to totally forgot this ever happened. I'm going to go, why are all my guys injured? Anyways, guys. I'm going to peace out. My dudes. My dudettes. My horrible camera that I really need to get replaced whenever I get the chance. Guys, if you haven't already, be sure to like and follow and subscribe on YouTube and Twitch. I would really appreciate it. If you would do so, that would be great. I would love you. Ring the bell so you know when I'm going live. Check out Discord. Link is pinned in the chat right now over to my right and in the description down below if you're watching this in the post recording. which is likely because I'm about to end the stream. Yeah, like and follow, subscribe. Check me out on social media, any social media like Twitter or Blue Sky. You can just go search for Mechanical Beanstalk and you'll find me. Spend my time around the internet, so you'll run into me eventually. Internet's not that big, right? Anyways, guys, you're incredible, amazing, beautiful people. You deserve all the love in the world. I might take Wednesday off to work on some edited videos and do some around the house, but we're definitely going to be going live on Thursday, Saturday, and Sunday of next week. So keep that in mind. Yeah, like and follow and subscribe on YouTube and Twitch. I don't think I forgot to say anything else. If you guys have any discussions you want to have on Rogue Trader, Warhammer 40,000 in general, you can meet me over in the Rogue Trader Reddit or Discord. We can just start talking the shit. I love to talk about that. And I will talk to you later. Have a great weekend, guys. And great week. And I'll talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.